Hey everybody, Zero Hobbies here. If you're with me, thanks for joining. If you come in later, that's fine too, and if you don't, hey, your loss. Hold 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna be working on my Dice Tower project, like I said, for the Tabletop Dungeoneers January Dice Tower Challenge. So let me turn the camera over a little bit, and then we'll get you guys, closer, or not closer, but at least looking at the project and not just me, not my ugly face. There we go. That's about right, right? That's good. Looks good. Cool. Who dat? What's the matter? What's the matter, Save? Don't hate. I know that's your thing, but for those of you who don't know, this is the design I went with. It was just a quick doodle I came up with. I decided to go with something for 40K or sci-fi because, if I play games, that's the predominant game I play. So, excuse me, that'll be the one to go with. So far, I've got metal bracings, or this is going to look like metal, kind of. And I did some scoring and some detail stuff on the along the edges here. Just use a pen, like a big pen, to write into the foam. I kept the paper on the foam board. I usually do. I don't normally take the paper off, primarily because, I know people do it, and I'm going to do it in other projects, but for this project, most of my 40K city fight projects and buildings and ruins and stuff like that, I keep the paper on because you can still get the designs on there if you wanted to, but it's actually sturdier, it's pretty solid. So, and this is just basic foam core. It was a cheap piece I had lying around and I didn't want to throw out. I used to use it as a backdrop for some of my older videos, but I got to that point where I just had to use it for something. You are kind of scary, Hate. A little bit. Just a little bit scary. A little bit. So I'm debating, do I put a brace here? This is all weird. I went underneath on this side, but then I went up top on this side. So I don't know if I should put a brace right here. Probably. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It's just for looks. This does nothing for the model. This is just for show. But I do have that bullet hole and crack right there, so maybe not. Or maybe this way. Like that? Yeah, what do you think, Hate? This way? Or this way? What you saying? I can't see. What's up, Cujo? All right, let's get cutting. I don't know if you guys are doing yours or not, or if I'm the only one doing a dice tower. That'd be pretty messed up, man. I mean, there's no prize or anything, but still, this is y'all idea. Can you get in trouble with YouTube if I'm whistling somebody's theme song? Would I get in trouble for that? It's like licensing and shit. And that's a serious question I'm asking. I mean, will I get in trouble if I'm I'm live and I'm singing somebody's song, or not singing, but humming somebody's song or whistling somebody's song? You guys know? Across the top. So like that. Yeah, I like it. I think I'm going to shave this little edge off here, though. Make it slanted. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's make that happen. What the F did I? There they are. Damn tools, man. Cut that little bit off. Cool. And then use this trusty old Elmer's glue. It wasn't my idea. It was Blue's idea. Somebody else better do a goddamn dice tower. I swear to God. But you know what? It's whatever, man. I'll use it in 40K. Come on, man. Fuck, please. I was just scrambling around last night looking for cardboard. Like I was gonna open up a cereal box, but I was like, So a little cracker box that was kind of open. So I put the crackers in Ziploc and booyah! Cracker box. I gotta hold this for a little bit because it'll curl. This is just what cardboard does. But if you hold it, yeah, see, I covered up the bullet hole, but I can do another one, so that's cool. And I'll do that real quick. I'll show you guys how I did that. Look, now, my computer's all the way behind me, so y'all better stop typing so much and jump in if you're going to jump in. That way it's easier for you to talk, motherfuckers. Hashtag not for kids. Hashtag not safe for kids. Damn it, and then you type in a whole sentence and paragraph. Oh, come on, man. You mother. Play the free music? Yeah, I should just get some fucking free music and play that shit. Keep them crackers bagged, hell yeah. Because then they get all nasty. Ain't nobody likes nasty crackers. So real quick, just use a regular like Bic pen. And I'll start with a little circle. And then just kind of push it out a little bit. Give it some little star sparkles or whatever you want to call those little tails. Boom, instant bullet hole. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there you go, bullet holes. Because in 40K, everybody misses more than they hit. In the stories they hit like all the time, but that shit's not realistic. All right, how did I do this? Got that song stuck in my fucking head. Time is up. Time is now. Stay, fucker. Yeah, you know what? I don't even need to do that. This is tricky. The tricky Ricky. My table has like a where it folds, the folding part, like one side of the table is higher than the other side for some damn reason. and it's so like it's a little bend, so I gotta be careful when I'm drawing. Oh, I love having this cutting board, man. It's like the best fucking thing I've purchased in like forever. It's like super. Every time I think like, oh, I need a straight edge or a line, it's like there's lines everywhere. It's perfect. Using 1/2-inch lines for everything because it was just easier for me to do measurements, and when I'm doing this type of shit and cutting and stuff like that, I just felt like it would be easier. And I'm going to press a little harder on some of them because in that way it'll help the knife. When I use the X-Acto, it'll just make it easier to cut. Okay. That tedious shit. But, you know, it's the same process with all the scenery I build. It's like, there's always that one part nobody wants to do but has to be done. It's like whenever I'm doing shingles for one of like the fantasy houses and stuff, it's like one of the most tedious processes, man. You know, but you got to do it. And I know, like my buddy Mark over at BlustreekCustoms, he actually makes shingles, like little wooden shingles, and puts each individual one in. It blows my mind. I mean, it's cool as fuck. The result is the end result is phenomenal looking. But I just, for tabletop wargaming, I just couldn't, you know what I mean? There wouldn't be any value in that for us. What y'all talking about? You guys are killing me, man. Yeah, actually, I mean, it's fine because if they catch up here or if they, you know, wherever they go, as long as you can see them, I mean, dice land where they land, right? But this top, I built this top thing. I'll show you guys. So I could put 32 millimeter bases around it, you know, so I can get Space Marines in there, you know, because everybody's on 32 mil bases now. So, you know, now will this work with, you know, throwing dice and shit? Probably not. It'll probably knock all the guys down, you know what I mean? But I can get almost a whole squad of Space Marines in there, you know. So there you, I mean, that's pretty, that was the point of that, you know what I'm saying, was that multi-build, because if it was just a dice tower, it'd just be taking up space. Let's see here. Let's see. Now watch, I'm going to fuck the whole thing up. Rolling these dice. Right? Bye, Space Marines. Oh, they all went down. What? Booyah! Suck it, Trebek. Yeah. Hell yeah. What's up, Quinn? What's going on, brother? Yes, props to the dudes that do shingles. Yes, I'm telling you, man. If you check out his sawmill video, he's doing the shingles on that. Oh, he's gonna fall down. And he's doing each individual one made out of like balsa wood and stuff. I'm like, he just built a lean-to for one of the projects that he's doing, and he did it all out of wood. I'm like, damn, there goes the Space Marine. Yeah, and he's down at the bottom with the dice. Nice. So it works. So, you know, works for me. And like I said, we're predominantly going to use it for 40K. So I'm sure my buddy will be kind of miffed already that I'm bringing my own bunker to the table. But, you know, that's how you got to suck it up. 1 second, guys. And close the door. And I'm going to drink some water. I wish this conversation thing would just update regularly. Like it doesn't. Yeah, I think a water fountain one would be pretty cool, man. Especially if you could get some real water in there. That'd be some pretty tight shit, dude. But I mean, yeah, I'll be honest. When I started this, like I was like, man, I think I'm kind of being over ambitious. You know, I felt like I wasn't going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't going to hit it in time. But we did get it. Okay. Now we cut. Actually, we'll do this one first. I'm using my new X-Acto, so this one's really, really sharp. But still, you got to go through it like fucking 100 times just to get it to cut. And these Army Painter knives, I mean, they're cheap, they're good, whatever, for a quick fix. But they don't have very good blades. That's one of my critiques of this knife. It's a good. I like the type of handle, you know, but the blades are not that good. But I mean, you know, when you're cutting foam board and cardboard, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could have titanium blades, and it's still gonna, you know, that stuff still chews up knives really good. So I'm thinking after this, maybe we do something a little bit easier, for something everybody in the group can get in on. I don't know what that would be, because everybody's so diverse. You know, we all have different skill sets. Ooh, stay still, fucker. Be very, very quiet. Cutting paper. Here we go. Booyah! Loving it. $7.25 is so fun. Tell their Alexa to order things. What? Oh, yeah, I'm talking to the tower. I need text to speak. I do. It would make it so much easier because I fucking have to turn around every 5 minutes to see who said what? The fuck did you just say to me? Hashtag not safe for kids. I had to transfer over my glue bottle because this one was like dried out. So I put some water in it. About to make some Mod Podge. Yeah. Because it works great for this. It would be perfect for this stuff. I actually, so all along the white edges here where it was exposed, if you try to spray this, it's just going to dissolve because aerosol just destroys foam. I'm sure you guys already know that. But for those who are watching that don't, that's what's up. Aerosol will destroy this if you try to spray it like that, just raw. So I laid a layer of Armor's glue all around all the white edges so that once I paint it, if I get the chance to use an aerosol can, it won't damage this too much, you know. But I think because of the weather and the temperature out here, which is fucking ridiculously cold and wet, I don't think I'm gonna be able to spray this. So I'm gonna make some Mod Podge and just put some black in there and then paint the whole thing with that, and that'll be the base color. And then, and then I'll go from there. Yep, I still got the whole front to do. Don't need a lot of glue, just a little bit, because this paper will absorb it and it'll stick to that other paper really, really. That's another reason why I like leaving this paper on if I'm doing stuff like this, because this stuff works really well with Elmer's glue, and so does, you know, it works good with cardboard, balsa wood. It's just really absorbent, so it just adheres really, really quickly. It's not the most like, I think after time, we've got some buildings that we've had since like 2000 that are finally starting to like fall apart, you know, like just the stress of moving them and packing them and throwing like 4 or 5 of them in a box, you know. But, you know, for the first sets of terrain that we built from 2000, that's, you know, like, that's pretty freaking good. It's pretty freaking good, eh? Did I miscalculate? A little bit. Damn it. That's okay. We'll fix it. Ain't nothing an X-Acto and a Sharpie can't fix, right? We got to hold this down for a little bit because you see it's already starting to curl. It's just the nature of cardboard. Had I done it on this side, like if I glued on this side, it would stay better, but this stuff has a tendency to peel away easier because it's got that shine on it. So it just, like after you paint everything, you get it all set nice and neat, and it'll just come right off. And then you're crying, you're mad, and you're calling, Santa Claus and whoever else you call when you're sad and mad. Damn, you motherfuckers. You're writing books over here. I could do that. I could buy a monitor, but you could do, yeah, you could actually rattle can foam, but you have to do it from a good distance, and you have to do it, like just small spurts. And I've done different projects with it, and I've actually used it to actually melt the foam because we needed it for this specific project. But the chances of you like not messing up, you know what I'm saying, is really high. So, 70 degrees. Who's got 70 degrees? Shut up. Plastic dip at a distance is a certain foam doesn't eat it. Oh, okay. That's cool. I didn't know that. This motherfucker. It's 72 actually. It's perfect weather for spraying. And I pretty much use rattle cans for everything. For basing everything, like all these miniatures, anything I can spray with the rattle can, I'll do it. Like I don't waste time, like trying to hand paint everything. It's just why? That's why I want to get a pretty good airbrush. That way, it's just like rattle cans. It's just smaller and in the house. All right, we'll leave that there for now. We'll get the next piece cut. Do I have a piece lying around? Cardboard. Got this dang cardboard. Yep. That'll have to do. So we'll take this. I'm gonna draw the marks here for this here line right here. Right here. And then boom. Okay, I'm gonna write this line here. Hate being so needing to be so precise, but gotta do it. Otherwise, it looks all sloppy and measured once, cut twice kind of thing, you know? I used to have a buddy who was really good at fabricating scenery. Like, he was my go-to. Like, I would design, start process, and then he would finish the fabrication. But, dude, it was like every single time we got together, which was probably every weekend, every Sunday or every other Sunday, it was like having to tell him like a kid. It was like measure twice, cut once. It was like all the fucking time I had to tell this kid. It just got ridiculous. Yeah, airbrush booth because so always spray. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was actually thinking about making my own airbrush booth because my buddy works at a very popular soda pop company, whatever, and he gets a lot of those corrugated plastic boards, you know, like they use for signs, which is what most of those airbrush booths are made out of. So I'm thinking about just making my own. Yeah, I have a old Badger, which is what I was using, but it's got one of those underneath bottles, and it just makes such a fucking mess. Like, um, it's just like because of the way the air escapes and stuff. It's just messy. Yeah, you could do foam or hardboard. I mean, eventually the foam will basically harden up with the spray. You know what I mean? Like whatever spray you're using. Okay. Last little mark, and then we're gone. Okay, we cut. Cardboard. Stay still, fucker. I always wind up cutting too far sometimes or not far enough. Fucking aggravating. Come on. Feels like it cut it all the way through, but it didn't, motherfucker. Look at that. Here we go. Boom. Curl it a little bit and then glue it in. You guys, who builds scenery besides me? And I know, hey, you've done some building. Cujo, do you do any building, or you just buy? Either way, it's cool with me. I don't judge. I was just curious. Who do what? What method is that? Hold it up to the thing, mark it, cut it, then trim it in place. Yeah, I could do that. That's definitely what I used to do. I don't know. I just feel like I got this cutting board with all these cool inch lines and centimeters and millimeter lines, and got a cool see-through ruler and be ashamed to have all this shit and not use it, I guess. Plus then you're putting it down, trimming, putting it down, trimming, putting it down. Fuck it. Excuse me. God damn you, Jon Cena. Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, in the end, if it looks right, that's it. I mean, here's the thing: this is going to be used in miniature wargaming. Honestly, it's not a. This is not for. I mean, I guess I did make it for a contest, but you know what? If someone picks it up and says, "Oh my God, these lines," and they're like, "You know what? You're not looking at it right," and I'll probably punch them in the eye and be like, "Look at it again. How's it look now?" You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here with that shit. You lost subscribers? Nah. That's right. These lines here are, this square is an inch, then you've got a centimeter, and then you've got the millimeters all along the lines here. That's what this I mean, that's why I use, whenever I cut, I use these edges, because the cardboard or whatever you're cutting may be crooked as fuck and you not even know it, and you're thinking you're cutting it straight. When you look, you put it down, it's all cockeyed or at an angle. So I do my best to line it up here with the borders, and there you go. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Cujo, we're gonna get you some more subscribers, bro. I'm pushing your shit, bro. Like I'm telling you, like crack, bro. I'm pushing it. I like your videos. I'm loving that fog machine. Dude, I swear to God, dude, I've been wanting to use a fog machine at our 40K games for fucking ever. And we got one of those cheap ones from, the Halloween ones, like at Target and shit, one year, and it used dry ice. Now, I was working at a place in shipping and receiving where we got dry ice like every fucking day, right? And we'd get like slabs of it. So I would take a couple pieces, put it in the deep freezer, and then when I would go home, I'd snatch it up and we'd use it. But the problem was, like I said, everything we made was out of, because back when we started, there really wasn't a lot of plastic resin or any. There wasn't, this stuff wasn't around. This Games Workshop scenery didn't exist. So we made it all, and it was all foam board, cardboard, plastic card and stuff like that. And it just started to, as soon as you put that machine on and it touched the scenery, everything buckled, everything warped, and it got ruined. So it was like, oh man. But it's such a cool atmosphere, dude. You did it. It's fucking awesome. I loved that video. Yeah, no, Cujo, trust me, bro. This is probably, this is the first, hand to God, this is the first project I've done in my house here like this. Like most of the stuff is done like, these things, building miniatures, painting, whatever, my RC cars and stuff. But this is the first one where I actually fabricated. Second, because I did my watermill here. But this is like, when I did my watermill, I was literally in front of the TV with a little coffee table, and that was it. Like, it wasn't even a coffee table. It was a fold-up table we used as a coffee table, because we just didn't have the space. My son was newborn, and there just wasn't enough space for everything. So believe me, I totally dig it, man. It really helps to have the proper workspace. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, even right now, I feel claustrophobic. I feel like there's too much shit around me, even though I do have enough space here. I just feel like there's just not enough room. I want to get shelving unit to put all my cars and stuff and all my boxes up for that stuff over there, and then a bookcase for all my miniatures and all that. So it's not sitting here in the queue. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not in the queue waiting to be delivered or worked on and shit. I mean, if you got a garage, go out there and do activities and stuff. Okay. That's crooked. How did that get crooked? Because they're not measuring right. That's how. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a little shy. What the? Banana sandwich? All right. Bet money. We're going to make it work, though. We're going to make it work. Okay. Get in there. And there we go. I just learned today, this is probably, I shouldn't even admit this shit, but I just learned today that this part of my ruler, this little bubbly part, is a magnifier. I was just like, I thought it was some fancy shit they did for the plastic. Like, ooh, it's fancy. You know, goes to show. These newfangled technologies. Oh, I gotta line that shit up. Damn it. Hold on. Let's do that again. Well, let's run that back. Alright. Curling ass bitch. Oh, fucker. Mm. All right. We cutting. Gonna cut this shit. Oh, he's actually right behind the camera, to a little to the left. He's standing there, but I'm gonna I'm gonna be building the second one that I got, the second mega size. You guys will see that video coming up soon. He gonna be over here. Big granddaddy Gundam over there. Your wife don't like you. Yeah, you know, I'm not blaming the ladies because right, it's our thing, right? But I mean, for me, it's like, look, man, would you rather I be fucking sitting on the couch drinking beer, smoking weed, and chilling with all the old fucking I was today years old. You know, chilling on the couch being a bum. You know what I'm saying? Like I could do that. That shit's easy to do. I get honestly, if I were to jump on a video game, like if I because I got Batman, I got a bunch of games I haven't finished. If I jump on any one of those games, I could bum out for like a fucking month. Quick, like not even thinking twice about that shit. But for myself, my conscience is like, no, I can't waste my time doing that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, my college and another shop. Wait, this hate. Don't tell her she doesn't know. All right, I'll keep it. I'll keep it secret. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. It's with video games, dude. You will lose I'll tell you a quick story. I got back Batman Arkham Knight, and I wanted to get into it because I played the other two, and I really like the Batman Arkham games. Got one night, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to play. My son went to bed. It was like 8 o'clock. My wife was getting ready to go to bed. She was tired. So I was like, all right, 8:30, I'm still up. I'm going to play some Batman. Fuck it. Let's get it. And I'm in there, and I'm playing, and I'm playing, and I'm playing, and I'm playing, and I'm playing. 4:30 in the morning rolls around. Now, my wife gets up at 5:30. I get up at 5:30 to get my son ready for school and whatever. This was before I had my surgery. And so I was like, 4:30, I got to go. And I realized I got nowhere in that game because I was doing a lot of little side things and just exploring and just getting into gang fights and stuff. And my son, I was telling my son, I was like, yeah, I was playing Batman. He's like, oh, cool. He's like, did you get far? I was like, nope. And I played for, I can't tell you how many fucking hours, and it was just gone. And like, the role playing, like MMORPGs and stuff like that, you get lost for days in those games and not even think twice about it. And that's the thing, right? Like, I don't knock it because there's people who do it. And I enjoy playing video games. I always have. Shit, I was around, for stand-up arcades and at-home Atari, but it just got to a point where it was like that was just eating up so much time, and you guys know these fucking miniatures, they ain't gonna paint themselves, And unfortunately, like in the Warhammer community, in most miniature gaming communities, there's a little bit of snobbiness, but a lot of people don't like it when you show up to a table at a public place with an unpainted army. The grays, they just don't like the grays, and I get it. I mean, I sympathize with those, especially people who can't paint very well, and are skeptical or nervous about painting an expensive model, but excuse me. But they frown upon that shit. Like, you didn't paint your model, just put some paint on it. You know what I mean? And I get it. I mean, that's why Games Workshop came up with the whole contrast line. That was their whole gimmick. Like, hey, don't be a dick. Don't be gray. Just throw some paint on it. It'll be fun. You know what I mean? And they're not wrong. It's just like I said, when you're doing that many other things, you don't have the time for it. And painting takes a while. I mean, if you're doing anything right, it takes a minute. Hey, you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. Cujo. Mm-hmm. Even with this sharp ass knife, still struggling. Slime. And then this ruler is it's bowed somehow. So I have to press it down to actually lay flat to push down on the cardboard. Because if I don't push on a cardboard, then it's gonna be like, you cutting your line, you crackhead. There was a guy in our club. Oh, this guy he used to crack me up. Mobile Legends, I camp Cujo when he teams with me. Camping. Dare you? That's blasphemy. We sent this guy in our club. His name was Pete. Great. He's an awesome guy. We called him Zippy on the airsoft field. Everybody had a call sign. And he was good. He was ex-military and he was good on the field. But anyway, this motherfucker couldn't cut a straight line to save his fucking life. Like, we were holding up a big piece of foam board. Like, all right, man, just go straight down. That's all you got to do. I already made the line. I indented the line for him. Like I seamed the line. And he fucking went all. I was like, Zippy, the fuck is wrong with you, man? Are you on crack? He was like, well, no, but maybe a little bit. some shit like that. It was hilarious. Yeah. Shut up. It was funny, damn it. He was funny. Yeah, he could paint really well, but he just couldn't draw a straight line. I don't know what's fucking wrong with him. I think he said he had Lyme's disease or something like that, like a tick or something. He was out in Iraq during the war, and he got some kind of shakes out there. And we didn't really notice it until, like I said, he went to go cut that board, and it was like, dude, you smoking crack? Because crackheads, they shake, they don't stay still. That's why you can't catch a crackhead. You could try, but if they got your VCR, just let it go, man, because you ain't gonna never catch a crackhead. All right, what are we going on? What's going on here, guys? Final Fantasy VII, the 20th time playing new. Yeah, Final Fantasy is always fun. The new one's coming out soon. Final Fantasy VII. Holy shit! I just realized what you just said. God damn, it's a whole game. That was crazy about Warhammer was not only do they need to be painted, but they need to be right colors and have the right guns and right armor, no stand-ins. Well, yes and no. Color-wise, no, that's not true. If you want, like, let's say you want to use Ultramarines as your guys, if you look in the Ultramarines book, there's Ultramarines. They're normally blue with gold trim, but they can be black. They can be, they can be whatever colors you want. You just put the stickers on. It doesn't fucking matter. As long as all your guys in the army are uniform, then it don't matter. I mean, but that's in any military structure has uniform, uniformity. That's just how it is. Weapons wise, yeah, because they have this thing. It's called Wiswig. What you see is what you get. So it's more courtesy for your opponent than you per se, because if I'm looking across the table and I see a bunch of Space Marines with bolters, okay, I assume as a player, I'm going to say those guys have bolters. Now, if you come and tell me they all have missile launchers, I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm like, okay, first of all, how did you get all those missile launchers in one army? That's ridiculous. And two, why don't you have models for those missile launchers if that's what your army consists of? And it's happened. It's happened a lot in the past where you go to a tournament, especially in tournaments. It's very important for your models to be, represented as the way they are. Stand-ins work. I've used proxy models and stuff like that for different things, but I always tell my opponent, this is a proxy. This counts as this counts as that. But you wind up, if you do it for your whole army, you wind up going through that like a half hour of definition. When if you just do it Wiswig, I don't have to. Those are Eldar. They have, shuriken cannons. That's what they have. I see it. I can see that from here, and then it's assumable that your opponent is like, okay, well, maybe this guy has a special war gear or special equipment, but generally what he's carrying, I know that's what he's using in combat. Unless the guy tells me specifically, hey, this guy's got a rifle in his hands, but I gave him a sword and pistol instead because I don't have the model for the sword and pistol guy. I'm like, all right, bet money. That's on me to pay attention to that. But generally, no, but yeah, I mean, color-wise and stuff, you can make your army look whatever the fuck you want, man. I've seen some hella stuff. I can't cut a straight line to save his life. I resemble that remark. My bad, Quinn. Quinn's on crack. There it is. It's been exposed. 23-year-old. Yeah. That's it. 23 years old, man. Damn, that game is old. What's up, Crit? Finally, dude, I've been waiting for you, fucker. Taking forever. Get your ass on my show. What the hell, man? You're hurting my feelings, bro. Just kidding. You're not. I'm quite concerned about the hot glue gun epidemic going on right now, guys. I hear people in the Real Steel community saying that that's the new cure-all solution for weapon malfunctions. Is hot glue gun. I'm not sure this is actually a tried and tested theory. Maybe you guys can shed some light on that. I don't know if y'all saw what I just did there. This is your last one. That's right. Get your shit in line. Yeah, that's, you know what? I have like, well, originally I started with one army, of course, you know, but you when you start reading the lore and you start getting into the history and the mythology of the game and all that crap, and you start looking into other armies and past yours, you start to see a bunch of cool armies, you know, and you start to think, oh, I can do that. And then by the time you realize it, you know, you've got like, you know, a whole apocalypse size army. Yeah, I figured out what it was, the background noise. Both of my mics were on, the Snowball mic and my PC mic. So my PC mic picks up the fan that's going right now because of the laptop. So, you know, it's picking up the fan noise. That's what it was. I just realized it today, guys. So I apologize for all the background noise. You know, here's the deal, man. I like 40K, right? Like I used to play another game. It's called Mutant Chronicles Warzone. It was a board game from Milton Bradley, and then they made it into a miniatures game, right? They signed up with a company, and the company made it into a full-on tabletop mini game, and we played that, and it was like a skirmish, and it was cool. And I always saw the guys playing 40K. Always, every time we went somewhere, the motherfuckers were playing 40. Oh, you guys got to come play 40K, and I was like, I don't want to get into all that, you know. And I actually was in a group of guys that were playing Mutant Chronicles, and I didn't have the rule books myself. I just, you know, my buddy that bought the rule book, we just shared it, you know, and used his. And, you know, I was getting my ass handed to me all the time, and I didn't know a lot of the rules. I just had a good time playing with my friends. And I stopped, you know, I got to the point where I was like, I'm tired of getting my ass handed to me. So I bought the rule book myself, and I started reading the rules, and I started realizing that a lot of these guys, I want to say they were cheating. They weren't. They were just taking advantage of rules that I didn't know. And it was kind of like one of those, well, if you don't know, that's your fault, not mine kind of thing. And it was cool, whatever. So I basically beefed up my game. I got sharper, and I started, you know, just knocking them down. And unofficially, you know, I was kind of like blackballed. You know what I'm saying? Because I was an asshole. I was arrogant. You know, I was cocky. You know, I talked a lot of shit. Still do. But one of my buddies that was in the group, he's like, well, you can come play 40K. You know, I'll let you use one of my armies, because he had 2 armies. And I tried it, and I was like, it's not bad. You know, a little expensive, but not bad. And, you know, I got into it, and that was it. That's all it took. You know, and I got, like I said, once you start reading the lore of this game, and you start, like, you pick an army and you start reading the lore in that book. Damn, that's way off. Fucking. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, boy. I'm gonna clip that shit right on the end here. Once you start reading the lore of these books, you know, and the history of all these armies and these worlds and these races and stuff, and you get hooked in quick, and no doubt, you know. So I mean, I when I tell people about 40K and, you know, I play whatever, I always, you know, because everybody's biggest fear or biggest stigmata, whatever the fuck you want to call it, stigma, whatever, is the cost, right? Like, it's too much money. Rad Mike. Snowball. Yeah, I heard it was like the one of the cheapest, best mics you could get. So I originally got one that was like single direction. I didn't know all this shit till I bought the white one. It was a single direction mic, and I was like, oh, I don't want that, because I wanted to use it for table talks. Like when I go do videos where I have a bunch of people around the table and we all discuss a subject, I wanted a mic that would pick everybody up. So then I had to sell that mic and then buy a new one, same one, but with the omnidirection. So yeah, I had to do that because it was just like, you know. Yeah, Forge World is oof, bro. That's oof. You think okay? I'm not, no disrespect, none at all, because Cujo, you got it going on over there. You got a good situation, but when you get into Forge World, bro, that's Forge World for me is like Dwarven Forge for you, bro. It is an addiction because the models are so damn good looking. You know, you got it. It's like fucking gotta have that model, but they're so fucking expensive, and I mean, so expensive. It's just it kills me, man. Because it's like I would go to games, big tournaments, and you see these huge Titans and huge Forge World flying models and stuff, and you're like, no, can't compete with that. You know, it became a pay to play after a little while. You know, like you had enough money, little Timmy son of a bitch who had an open wallet with his dad or mom. You know, they would table people instantly because they had Forge World models that were just OP. You know, they're more balanced now, but they're still fucking pricey as shit. And I mean, I get it, right? Because it was at the time that resin, the molding process that they were using was really spot on. It was really good, but that's old now. People are doing way better things with 3D printing and other things for way less. So it's like, why are you guys still charging an arm and a leg for your shit, bro? That's why the recast market is so fucking booming right now, because people are like, no, I'm not spending $1,200 on a Titan when I could spend $600 and get the same damn thing. It's all resin. Who gives a shit if it looks as good as the other one or not? I'll just say it's battle damage. I'm not advocating you people buy recast. I'm just saying from my personal preference, recast is all right with me. But yeah, Forge World is a slippery slope, my dude. Yeah, Thingiverse is all right, but here's the thing, man. The quality of those models are not that great. I mean, I'll be honest. My buddy just printed out a Space Marine, Primaris Space Marine, which are the new Space Marines, and I have them. And I was looking at the print, and I was like, You know, I mean, yeah, if you really want to get in there, you get in there. But personally, like I said, I don't know. You know, people have been trying to 3D print 40K models since 3D printing had been a thing. Yeah. Morals are expensive, and you're broke. That's exactly it. Yep. I mean, like I said, you know, buy Crit. I don't know where he went. Mushrooms, I think. Look, man. I get it. You know, I get both sides of the argument. You're taking away from the company's profit, and they're losing business, and they'll no longer be in business. I get it, but wouldn't that send up a red flag if you were a company owner and be like, "Shit, nobody's buying our shit. What the fuck?" You know, let's figure out a marketing scheme so we could get this shit back on track. You know, or let's bring our prices down, especially on the shit that's like 30 years old. Let's bring that down a little bit. Inflation is not that. I mean, come on. And I'm going to be honest. I have a video in my video thing. You guys should check out. It's called "The Tale of Two Thunderbolts." My buddy Rob bought a Thunderbolt from Forge World, brand new, from the Games Workshop convention. We had a good time. He bought a brand new Thunderbolt, and this thing was so fucking warped and so damaged as it was. And Forge World is good about, like, if you get a really damaged product, they'll send it. You know, you can send it, and they'll send you a new piece and stuff like that, whatever. But the problem is, like, yo, I just spent $150 on this fucking model and it's damaged. Like, I have to fix it. What the hell is that? What other company? That's like you going to Home Depot, buying a door that's got a hole in it that you have to go home and fix. Like, would you do that? Like, at full price? Hell no, ain't nobody going to do that. So he also bought one just recently from a Chinese recaster. The Chinese recast looks better than the Forge World one did. When we were done putting them together, there's only one way you could tell that one was a recast and one was legit Forge World model, and the recast still looks better. Now, that's not always the case. That's not, you know, sometimes you get what you pay for, you know, and you take your risks. But the bottom line was like, yo, you paid 150 for that first one. You only paid 50 for this second one. And look at the difference. That's what sold it to me. I was like, all right, well, if it's a big model that I want, I'm not getting it from Forge World. I just can't afford it. It's just not realistic. You know? Especially like I got a Reaver Titan. That shit's gonna sit on a shelf. It ain't gonna be used much. You know, so why would I spend $1,200 to get a Reaver that I'm gonna use maybe once or twice, maybe in my lifetime? I mean, I'd like to see that model, Quinn. If you can post it on Discord or it's fake news, you know what I'm saying? Printers, yeah, I don't know, man. Printers are going to put a lot of companies out of business, dude. Especially these small, or what will happen is these companies will get smart and start doing printers themselves. They'll start printing their product out themselves. Because right now they use like a 3D CAD program to design the models, and then now some companies, even Games Workshop, are printing out the initial model and then sending it to their workshop to get like refined, and then they cast it. So it's getting there, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I mean they tried, but here's the thing, here's the thing with trying to put the kibosh on it, right? Games Workshop, like, especially, they're the biggest dogs in the yard. Bottom line, I don't care what you think. Wizard of the Coast is cool. Games Workshop is the biggest gaming company in the world. They produce more for gaming miniatures than any other company. They just got it like that. They've been doing it for almost 30 years. That's just what it is, right? But when it comes to overseas, they cannot touch China. Those companies that are making recasts, that profit goes to China. It goes to the country. So they've tried several times to commit lawsuits against these recasters, but because they're residing in China, the government will not allow the lawsuit. They'll just, no, you're not suing anybody here. That's just what's happening. You're just going to have to deal with it. And Games Workshop has lost so much money pursuing these casters. Now they can go after people in like Eastern Europe and stuff like that, but depending on the country and the government, they may not have a chance in hell either. That's why there's Russian. The first recasters were Russian guys and Ukrainian guys, and then China got the wind of it, and they're like, boom, let's do it, and they did it for even cheaper. Sure, like I said, quality's, but it does happen. I mean, this here, shame to admit it, I did a video on this. This is a recast because I didn't want to pay $60 for this guy. So I paid $13. And he looks good. He's flimsy because he's resin. He's a thin resin. But I don't really want to, I'm not going to use the guy too much anyway. It's just to finish my army. But hey, man, it is what it is, man. I'm not even gonna fake the funk. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are where we are because these companies are really like pushing those boundaries of quality versus quantity versus cost. And I don't do it for everything. I don't believe you should get recast for everything. I'm just saying, be smart with your money. Just shop smart, shop S smart. Don't waste your money on shit that just because it's brand new and you think, oh, cool. That's right. Picture it's face news, Quinn. like in Star Trek. Tea, Earl Grey, hot. Hell yeah, I'll wait for the day for that. Bought a lot of salamander stuff, like shoulder pads and a bunch of stuff from their tanks. I bought some cool smaller vehicles with a towel off the Forge World. Dude, the salamander shit is dope. Like, it's just, that's another thing. Like, it's, this guy right here. That was my inspiration. I'm gonna paint him. Oh, not this guy. That's the Eldar guy. My bad. Where is he? He gone. He gone. He was here. Sleeping on the job. That's where he is. There he is. Space Marine Salamander. I'm gonna paint him up. This is the contrast paint guy. Still gotta finish that shit. But yeah, I mean, there's some, like I said, when you start looking into the lore of these models and these armies and stuff, there's some really colorful stuff, man. Really cool shit. You know, and you get into it. It's easy. You know, it's easy to get into the stories. You know, and the hype. It's fantastical, and it's nonsensical in a sense, right? Like the shit that is in 40K, you're just like, come on, get the fuck out of here. But in its world, it's all believable, right? Like in the universe of 40K, all the stuff that's in there is believable for that world, even though like that, if you believe in Star Wars and stormtroopers, right? Like in Jedi, why wouldn't you believe in Space Marines and demons and Eldar, right? Like what's the difference? One is not more fantastic than the other just because most of the people in Star Wars look human or are humanoid. Even the aliens that just got rubber heads and rubber gloves, you know what I'm saying? But it's believable in the universe, you know what I'm saying? So it's just me. I think it's a rich history, probably one of the biggest out there next to Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. But Lord of the Rings, the problem with Lord of the Rings is the author died and we don't have anything to go forward with, so it stopped. Lord of the Rings is over, right? Like if you read it and watched it, it's done. There's nothing else to go. You can do the Solarium, whatever the fuck that book is called, and there's people who've done things after, but the lore is just stopped. Dungeons and Dragons has a really good lore. Like there's a lot of history if you take all the different realms, like Greyhawk and Ravenloft and all those realms in the account. But for example, Strahd from Ravenloft is still Strahd from Ravenloft. He's just updated for a modern time. Bahamut, Tiamat, Beelzebub, Orcus, they're all still there. Bane, they're still there. They're just modernized for the new books. You know what I'm saying? So the lore really not much. There's been a few changes, like a few things that have happened between editions that, okay, this changed, this happened now, so now this is here or whatever, but not much, But yeah, I think 40K it keeps growing. I mean, and it just gets the lore gets thick. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. Like when you think about it all, it's like, God damn, there's a lot of shit to know. But you don't have to know it all. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be versed in it all to appreciate it or to understand it. What's going on in it, stuff like that. That's just me. Just my opinion. Like I have a Tyranid army, and at one point I was like, that's going to be my only army. I got rid of some Space Marines I had a while back, to a buddy of mine, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to stick with the Tyranid. And you go along. Picked up some Tau along the way, picked up some Necrons along the way, sold both of them. Picked up a bunch of Orcs along the way, sold all of those. Then I stopped for a while. I started getting some chaos stuff, and then I stopped because the additions were just out of control. They were bad. Some of the rules were just fucked up and unbalanced. And I stopped, and then I came back for 8th edition because they brought the Death Guard in as a whole new army by themselves, and I was a fanatic about the Death Guard. So I got into that, and my son started liking the Marines, so I picked up some Marines for him. So he's got Space Wolves. And I'm still building my Chaos army. That hasn't stopped being built, so it's easy to get into it, It's like anything else, you develop an interest in it and you're off to the races, and you forget about how much money you spend until you actually sit back and look and go, holy shit, the wife will probably kill me if she knew I spent a house note fucking miniatures in games and stuff. which is why I shop smart. Anywhere you can cut the corner on pricing, you should, or at least try, you know. All right, there she is, ugly as it is. Now we'll get into the back area. I got a bunch of cool stuff I want to throw on the back part. And I'll show you guys in a second what I'm looking at. Oh, Silmarillion. Gotcha. Yeah, that's the new LOTR show. That's if they get it going. I think they were given like a deadline, and they were actually told like you have this much time left to give us something, to show us something, and they I guess they were cramming to produce a bunch of stuff. So I have a bunch of cool little adornments I'm going to put on here, but I'm thinking about like some guns I'm going to put on the front of the thing over here, but on the back, I think I want to put. This is actually a ramp, like a loading ramp for a vehicle. But I think I want to use this as kind of like the door to get into the, because there's no door to get into the bunker at this point. So I think I'm just going to glue this on the back here so that I can, matter of fact, I'll just do that now so that I can start framing out the rest of the framework. Just do that just like that. Boom! There we go. And I'm just going to use plastic or wood, this Elmer's glue, because it'll stick it on there really good. This paper is super absorbent. Actually, you know what I'll do? Sand this up a little bit. Just to rough up the edges, makes it easier to absorb glue. And we'll glue this up. There we go. Nice and sloppy. Just how Cujo likes it. Yeah, I think I was talking to someone a while back, one of my buddies. He's a big video game guy, and I love him. You know, he's a good guy, but he just gets sidetracked mentally sometimes. And it's like, you just got to look at him. You know, it's one of those guys you look at him like, you fucking retarded. You know, I mean, not to make fun of retarded people, but you know, sometimes it's just like, damn, dude, what's on your minds? What's on your mental minds? He was complaining, or not so much. I guess he was complaining. He was like bitching at me about 40K and Warhammer, and I was kind of like, what? Why are we even having this? Like, I was just like, what are we talking about? You don't play, I do. Who gives what does it matter? You know, he's just. I think he was on a mission to convince me that it was a waste of time and money, and I was just like, look, I don't, you know, I'm not even having that talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're sitting in his house and the whole front end of his living room is covered with video games and different video game consoles. I'm like, bro, you've been buying video games since you were like fucking 16. I don't think you have a leg to stand on in an argument like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my opinion, but you know, not to knock video games, but it was just one of those ironic situations where it's like, bro, come on. You really thinking it through what you're talking about here? Uh-oh. I dropped something. I heard it fall, but I don't know what it was. Dang it. Oh well. Not important. Non-importante. So we got the door on there. Now I'll do the frame for the door. And then I'm going to put this piece. I think I'm going to put this piece here. Oop. I'll put this piece here. Like that. Maybe a little lower. So it's like on the second tier. So it'll be there. And then I've got these cool little, where are they? That's probably what fucking fell. God damn it. No, here they are. I've got these cool little rocket pods, you know, that are going to go right on there. Or I might do a gun. Like I could do a set of these guns. I don't know. I don't know yet, Scott. But we're going to do something. This is why I keep all my bits for my 40K shit. Like these are all extra bits you get, you know, and I just keep them all because you never know when you're going to need them for something, you know. So this looks like it could be some kind of balcony or generator or something, you know. So yeah, there's that. And then we'll just, you know what, let's just glue that shit on. I'm not even going to think too much. The longer you think about it, the more you argue with yourself. I say if you go with your instincts, and you can't go wrong. And if it doesn't work, we'll fucking rip it off and do something else. I'd like to get this painted by next week. I got a busy weekend coming up, but if God willing, I could get this started on paint by next week. I can get that Mod Podge done, and then really go to town. Really. All right. Bunker. Buster. There we go. See? Nice little pillbox there for some Marine to come out and do some shooting. Pew, pew. And then put this guy like this. What if I put it like that? Like a light. Yeah? Yeah, you like that shit, huh? What do you guys think? Yay? Nay? Or should I put it where it goes? Which is right there. I don't know, Fred. What do you guys think? Anybody's still there? Are you guys still there? my buddy's got a bunch of Steam games. Every time they go on like the holidays, they do like the Black Friday where it's like fucking 1,000 games for like $10 a piece or $2 a piece and shit. The old Jedi mind trick, huh? Yeah, yep. Seraphim, goblins, yeah. And then, you know what's nice about those models too, man, is they all really work well for D&D too. So they're multifunctional. You know, where it goes looks good. All right, bet money. We're just gonna put that there. Plastic glue that bitch on there, and she'll be set. Well, let me sand this little piece real quick. So I always when I do plastic to plastic, I always sand one of the sides, you know, just so that because that plastic glue melts the two pieces together, so it actually does it faster if you give it a little sand. A little sand. I'm gonna get in trouble. John Cena's gonna come kick my ass. Stealing his theme music. Fuck it. I don't know why it's in my head either. It's so stupid. Your time is up. My time is now. That's all I can say because I don't want to get sued. There we go. Oh, yeah. Now, here's another quick question for you guys. What if I put these melt-a-guns? These are like... Melt-a-gun is like a butane torch to the 10th power. So it'll cook armor and stuff like that. It's like heavy armor. It'll destroy it. You know? What if I put them right here on either side of the door? Kind of like you come in here, you're not supposed to be here. Whoosh, that's your ass. What do you think? Yay? Nay? Put it in the comments below. And I have this other little thing. Oh, I could put this up here. Put that right there. A little generator, right? What do you think? Yeah, maybe so, maybe so, maybe no. Or what if, because that could be a light, right? Like a light thing, you know. And then I'll put something on top, a little piece of cardboard on top to cover that hole. And if I put it here, yeah, buddy. And then I take this heavy bolter or multi-melta and put it, wait, not the multi-melta. Let me get it. I got a multi-melta. Do I not have a heavy bolter? Are you serious? Oh, I got an assault cannon though. Look at that minigun. Yeah, let's put that bitch on there, huh? Put it up here so the guys up here can do it, you know? Brap, brap. Get some. Let's do that. Let's make that happen. Memes about Steam sales. Melt-a-guns are arrows. Arrows? What? That's hilarious. Put arrow slots in there. I say arrow sluts. Hey, if you can find me some arrow sluts, bro, you the man. But yeah, that would it would be melt-a-gun arrow slits, like, you know, you come in there and you get cooked. That's funny. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll make that happen. And then this is what a portable melt-a-gun looks like, or multi-melta. This is like a vehicle mounted one. Oh, there's the heavy bolter. That's what I'll put on there. That's the heavy bolter. Put that bad boy on there. And it even has the little hook too, so it sits up there. It's because this goes on a vehicle, so it has a little tiny, see that little baby little claw there? Put that bitch right in that little nook right there. Booyah. Done deal. You don't have to tell me twice. This bitch is going to have guns all over it. They won't be functional unless my buddy lets me, but whatever. If he doesn't, fuck him. He's just being a little bitch. Love you, Rob. Oh, I got these things too. I want to show you guys. This came in like a basing set. They're like brass etchings, you know, and they're things that you throw on like the miniature bases to decorate your guys' bases and stuff. And I've had these things lying around for fucking over a decade, and I've never used them. So I'm gonna use them on this. And I even have like an little imperial eagle. I don't know if you'll be able to see that though. Tiny, little gold. I got some of that stuff. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of that. A little something. Bum, bum, bum. Anyway, Cooj, if you can play 40K, man, if you got enough, you should do it, bro. Start hosting 40K night at your house. I think it would be phenomenal. Kick in that fog machine, use some of that stuff you got from Dwarven Forge, man. Shit, I'll be playing at your house all the time. I'll take the bus, son. Not even playing. I think I'm playing, but I'm not. You don't have to kick me out and send me home. You're like, damn, Zero, you here all the time. Go home, son. You're like, home? What's that? I live here now, bro. I live with you. Let's just be friends. So that's going to go like that. And I think I might have to cut that little notch out for the, maybe not. Let us see. Come on, Heavy Bolter, don't fail me. You gonna do it? Oh, fucker. Okay, Heavy Bolter. Being a bitch. I'll let that dry for a little. I'll let that set a little bit, and then I'll put him in. Cool, cool, cool. Love it. Arrow slut. An arrow slut. Quinn, send me one, please. Somebody send one. Look, man, you got a 3D printer, you know. It's your lot, bro. It's your lot in life now. You're committed. You're committed to providing for the community your services and goods. The beholder is looking good, by the way. What are we doing? Are we printing out so many of those and we sending them out to everybody, or how? What's the deal with that? I mean, how much is that going to cost? Is there a cost? Is there? I mean, what are we doing, guys? An arrow slut? I don't know. You know, some dude, some bitch, whatever. Chick with some arrows, with no clothes. I mean, she's prepared for combat. She doesn't have any clothes, I guess. I don't know. Or she sells arrows in the dark alley on the side. I don't know. Not sure what an arrow slut would look like or do or be. All right, so I'm going to sand some of this gun down so that the back end doesn't stick out as much. This way, I can stick it on there without really messing up the plan. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, of course I want company. I'm good till 3:00. Once 3 hits, I got to cut out because my son comes home and you know how it is, man. Okay, so I mean, either way, guys, let me know what's the plan. Okay, so I'm gonna print them out. Whoever wants one, let me know. If you can pay shipping, please do. If you can help pay shipping, please do. Oh, yeah, of course, absolutely. And I mean, are we each individually going to paint our own, or I mean, that's cool too. I don't, I'm not hating or anything. Well, I can't wait to get one. I'm excited. The thing looks cool as fuck. I want to wear that shit like a medallion on a chain. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, I definitely want to sport that guy somewhere in my videos. I'm gonna have him every chance I get. I'll have him hanging somewhere. Maybe I'll put him around the Gundam's neck. On a chain and hanging around the Gundam's neck. That'd be awesome. All right, Heavy Bolter. Are we ready to go to work? Oh, look at that. Look at that. It fits. All right. Let me just glue you on. It's going to break. This is going to be like one of the first things that break off of this piece of scenery. Hanging bolters are always the first things to fucking break. It never fails. But, whatever. Come on. There you are. What time is it? And a little Elmer's glue for the back of the gun so that it'll stick to the cardboard. So if it does get ripped off, it'll take the cardboard with it. Oops, not even touching the damn cardboard. Look at that. All right, do it the other way. And do it this way. There we go. Heavy bolter in place. Booyah! Not bad. Not bad, not bad. You got to put the guns on this side, right? Because all the dudes are going to be facing this way, most likely. You know what I'm saying? So, just, you know, the shelves and stuff. So, unless, if I cut a hole, no. No cutting. No more cutting. So, nobody else is building, huh? Shame. Everybody knows your name. Yeah, tag me in it, bro. I'm done. I'm down. And yes, I second the Eros Let's necessity. I think we're going to put these melt-a-guns on here anyway, just because I don't have anything else to do with them. Low. Right. Push them in, give them a little indentation. Now I'm going to clean them up. So the nubs on the back I got to clip off. Then we sand it. Like this. I love emery boards. They're like perfect for this. Yeah, that bolter's gonna be fucking. That bolter's gonna snap off. I'm gonna probably be the one that does it too. Oh, my clumsy ass. I swear, it's like people hand me their miniatures, and if there's some kind of part that's loose or you're not sure about, you probably better not hand it to me because I'll find it and break it on accident. There you go. Melt-a-guns protecting the door. Heavy bolter protecting the upper door thing. Now, should I put guns on the side? No guns for the side. But I am going to do, like I did here with the vent, I'm going to do some detail stuff right here too next. Write some of that shit in there. And I had a piece. There it is. This is a piece I cut out just to kind of, I was going to use it for a flooring plate, but I use it to make the vents. So I'll do that now. Yeah, it's in the it's in the it's on the Discord under live stream. Yeah, there you go. Like Kate said. So just trace it out. There we go. Voila. Vente. And then we take our crooked ruler. Maybe not. Or maybe. We'll see. Now make the vents this way. Vertical instead of horizontal like I did the other side. Just for some variety. And, you know, like the Imperium wouldn't do that. They'd be like, no, it needs to be utilitarian as fuck. But, you know, this could be an outpost somewhere that just doesn't get a lot of support from the Imperium itself. You know, it could be like a border baron or something like that, or a knightly world, you know, where they have the knights and stuff. So it's old. There we go. I don't know if the camera will show that, but there's the vents there I just drew. And you don't need to really press hard because this stuff pretty much holds. And the nice thing is once I paint this, it'll still show through. But I can do some damage. You know, I can do some of the vents jacked up. Yeah, there you go. And the nice thing is like the big pen, it doesn't have a really pointy tip. It's just got that big ball, so you can just roll it through the foam core, and you'll get like you'll get some cool details. And again, you're painting it right. It should just work right in there. And it shouldn't obscure the detail. Like the paint shouldn't obscure the details unless you're using like cake frosting or something. Bullet hole around here. There we go. Oh, excuse me. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just random, you know. But this is stuff that when you're dry brushing or when you're painting it in the end, it'll pick up. You got to pick that out, you know, and highlight it and shade it and whatever. And it just gives this smooth finish, something else to have there rather than just a smooth flat surface, you know. And these bullet holes, so you can make them straight on, or you can make them like I'm doing here, where I'm making it so it looks like somebody was down here and shooting up, and it kind of just ricocheted, you know. So you can see that there. When you paint it, you'll do all the rest of that detail stuff. Joe is in the mix. What's up, buddy? What's going on with your volume?
Working on my dice tower.
Gotcha. Oh, you're working on one? Yeah, buddy. At least you and I mean, the competition of two, right? Because hate's not in it. Whoa. There we go. Say what? Oh wow, is that acrylic? You motherfucker! You almost had me, bro.
I think I'm gonna put some sluts on it.
You gonna put some sluts on it?
Hashtag not for kids.
Yeah.
Just carve a couple of sluts. Should be fun. Now, so who's all in the competition? Is it Blue, you?
Blue, you, or Blue and me. I think that's it. Because yeah, because Crit said he couldn't do one, and Hate was slipping on the time.
Yeah, he said he didn't have enough time. So how many point armies do you have? Like, what are you looking at? I mean, you said you had a couple different armies going.
Yeah. Okay, so my
2,000.
Oh yeah, my dude. Oh yeah.
Way more.
Yep. The newest army I have is the Space Wolves army that I started. Like I said, I started with the 8th edition box set for my son. And you know, when you go in there, like I said, when you look at the rules, you look at what they get, what they don't get, you start filling out those slots. That army, the smallest army I have is 5,000 points.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the Space Wolf army. My Tyranid army, the last I checked, was at 15,000.
No.
Yeah. Because I got some of the bigger guys from Forge World, and I got a lot of gaunts and stuff like that. And Tyrants, I got like 3 Tyrants. They're expensive, you know, about a bunch of Carnifexes. I still don't have nowhere near what I want to do to finish that army. Like, I don't have the Bio Titans yet, the big guys.
Yeah.
There's 2, like a flyer and then the ground one, and I want to get those guys, and I don't have them yet. My Chaos army is close to 20,000, 18,000, something like that. Because Chaos is expensive, you know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have probably more than maybe 2,000, 2,500, maybe.
Yeah.
Each one.
That's a good place to be too, you know, because most real good games are 2,000 points.
I can't imagine playing like. I mean, I could picture it, but it's like
they have a whole new system now too. They call it Apocalypse. It's designed to be able to play really big games with really big models and big armies, but in a short amount of time. You know, they've had it before, but older editions were pretty much like, okay, play 40K, but play with all your shit. And it just took like fucking days to play a game. Yeah. You know, now they simplified the rules and made it so like, okay, you're playing Apocalypse. These guys don't act as individual little guys. They're just one unit. And that's what they cost. This is what they do. You know what I mean? So it makes it easier to play. Kind of nice, you know, a nice system. Quinn says that Quinn says, Cujo, you sound like an Imperial probe droid. He did it first because all the static in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Quinn, I saw those towers. They were pretty nice, man. I'm digging your towers, bro. You did a good job. I always wanted to do one, but I just never, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, eventually. But now here I am. Making towers and shit. I'm going to glue this little thing down here.
Make some more rolling trays?
You say what?
You gonna make some more rolling trays?
No. Two and a half is enough, man. Like, even doing that one, I was kind of like, Originally, when I designed it, I was like, oh, it's going to be fucking awesome. Because somebody shared it on our Discord, that video, that guy who did the little pyramid, and he had the little trap door. And I was like, oh, that is so fucking cool, you know? And I was like, I want to do that. But then when I drew it out and I was getting ready to start, I was like, I think I might have bit off more than I could chew. And I don't know how he did it. I just used tape. So eventually mine, mine is going to fall apart eventually. I'm thinking about putting a magnet underneath it, like just to kind of, so like when I'm not using it as a dice tray, it'll still hold up some Space Marines. But I don't know. I might do that later. as it is, it functions now as a dice tray, so I'm cool with it.
Cool.
Ooh, that little vent right there.
And we talk about projects. I've got a major project that like I said, I want to build that D&D table, and I've got it all drawn up. I've spent a lot of time drawing that up.
Now, you talking like a table, like just
full-fledged table,
like a table that's dedicated to only to Dungeons and Dragons, or are you going to be? It's like one of those tables where it's got a hideaway thing. You know what I'm talking about?
We'll have a sunken or recessed table.
Okay.
In the center.
Okay.
I went back and forth whether I'm going to have to be able to cover it up or not.
Right.
That's why I haven't really started it yet. Because once I start that, it's either going to sit in my garage and take up my little tiny garage space, or I'm going to have to find a place in here. And I'm in a little one-bed apartment. So.
Right.
I want to wait. I'm probably buying a house next year, so.
Oh, nice! Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
That's big boy stuff.
Yeah, I've been putting it off because I got my child support will be done next year, and
oh wow,
then I'll free up some extra money to put toward a house. Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
All the time, so.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, why pay somebody else's vacation time? You know what I mean? When you can pay your own mortgage and you be set. You know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look for when I buy a house that's gonna have a dungeon room.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna have a room that's just gonna be dedicated to,
gaming
and set a gaming table in the center.
Yeah.
And then be able to have a little workspace.
That'll work. I mean, it's nice when you got your own creative space. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing I was telling.
I'm still single at the time that I buy it, and it's gonna be whatever I want. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's no say.
I mean, honestly,
you need it.
This is just my opinion. I mean, I'm a married guy, whatever. I don't own a home right now. But I think that for guys, it should just be a thing. Like, if you can't afford a house on your own, then clearly don't get into one on your own. But if you can, then you should. That house should be in your name only. Like, it doesn't matter if you're with somebody or not. Like, this is mine until you decide, like, until they decide that they want to be a bigger part of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm married right now. My wife and I have been committed for over 24 years. So I know if we do anything, we're doing it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as a single person, like getting into a commitment like a house, a house. There's only two major purchases people make in their entire lives. They're either buying a home or they're starting a business. That's it. Those are your two major investments in your life. Stocks and stuff that comes and goes. But like I said, I tell my friends all the time, if you're gonna buy a house, do not buy it with her. Just buy it. Unless you've been with them, like I said, 24, 25 years. You've been with her like 2-3 years. No, dude, buy your own house. She can live in it, whatever. But when you leave, it's yours. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you say that, because just last night, a woman that I've been dating for a while now, off and on, but it's been more on lately than off.
Yeah.
I told her last night, matter of fact, that, I was going to be looking at getting a house next year, and, and I'd start kind of keeping an eye out, start shopping a little bit, see what I want. And so it'd be cool if we were shopping together so you get some say-so in it. I said, even though I would be basing it on just my income, because it's going to be my house, but you'd have a little bit of a say-so in where it's at, what it looks like.
I mean, that's pretty brave, my dude. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying that's pretty brave,
Yeah.
Because
it's not like I'm putting her name on it.
Right. No, I know. I mean,
so she feel inclusive, like, hey, I'm trying to do this here. I'm trying to.
Yeah, for sure. Tell that bitch get in the picture.
Like, basically, I was just putting that out there. Like, otherwise, I'm just gonna buy a house wherever I damn well please, and it's gonna be however many bedrooms I want. And
right. There's no like, let's get a different house with more rooms. Like, no, bitch. Where were you at when we were talking about this in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know dudes that do that a lot. Like, they'll buy a house for themselves, and then all of a sudden they get involved, and then it's like, oh, I got to get a bigger house because we might have kids. It's like, bro, come on.
And that's not on our radar at all, because obviously we're both the same age, 47.
Yeah.
We're not having any more kids. We both have 3.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them are with the one individual.
Yeah, so you want to make sure. Yeah, you just like I said, just my boss used to tell me this all the fucking time. He's cover your own ass. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to cover your ass because no one's gonna do it for you. Got the Imperial Eagle up there now. It's official. It's an Imperial bunker. So I'm putting all this stuff on because then I can do the bracing.
I never got into Imperials because they were just like, that's a regular human army.
You know what's funny? I hated them initially because I was like, God, they look so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, and they did. A lot of the models back in the day, they just look fucking ridiculous. I was like, ugh. But
well, it's not even if they looked ridiculous; it was just what they were.
And
play some crazy Star Wars space type,
yeah,
races and humans.
Right. And you know, it's funny.
Army, military. You know,
they're the one army in the entire game that has the most military look, right? Like they look like an army of dudes with tanks and some ships. You know what I mean? Like they look like like they could fit in the sci-fi universe, like Starship Trooper guys, you know.
Yeah.
But when you look at the amazing shit that's out there that they're fighting, like the Tyranid and the orcs, and you're like,
the Tau technology.
Yeah. But right now in the ITCs, the tournaments, the Imperial Guard are placing in top 3. Well, they're just hard.
They have to be because
they are hard to beat, man. They just come with.
I would think that I would make sure the rules made sure that they, were balanced enough to where it'd be like, hey, I know these guys are playing Jane, just regular human military, but they're still badass. It makes people go,
all right, Quinn. Quinn, I'll see you later. Get those eye stalks done. Hey, welcome back. I don't know where you went.
Get them eye stalks done, buddy.
Because he said he's got to go and work on some eye stalks. So I'm like, get them done. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, Quinn. Like Quinn said it, like you get into a family and you lose track like of whatever it was you had goals. I mean, obviously, and realistically, right? Goals change. Like as you get older, you start developing, you lose the testosterone, you know what I'm saying? You start settling down and not getting so hyper and jumpy and whatever, It's not always fight. You start realizing, like you got to start slowing down, you know what I mean? And thinking about what about tomorrow? Whereas when you're a kid, like in your 20s, you don't give a fuck about tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't have to come,
When I first got my divorce when I was 38. I started going wild and just going out to the bars and,
cutting loose
all the time. And it was just, I'm wasting money that way. I'm wasting my life and time. And
oh yeah. When I was younger, I was in my 20s, like, I just started seeing my wife and I was going to bars and clubs and partying. I was partying, like, I was hard partying. You know what I'm saying? Like, the weekend was gone before I even fucking realized it partying. But then I got to the point where it's like, fuck, dude, like I would get paid on Friday and I'd be fucking broke on Sunday because if you go with like any more than 3 people, some asshole in your group's gonna be like, all right, I got shots, and then they're gonna go and they're gonna get shots for everybody, and you, okay, cool, and then the next guy, I got shots, and then the next guy, and then it's your turn, and you're like, all right, I got shots, and then I got beers, and then you know what I'm saying, you're buying your own drinks or whatever. The time you realize, you're like $300-$400 in the hole from the fucking bar. Not to mention if you buy somebody else a drink, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't chasing females, but I seen dudes that were, and it's like, yo, you just spent like $15 on a drink for that bitch. Who is that bitch?
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And I just met her hoping to what? You hope for $15 you're gonna get a blowjob?
How old were you then?
Me, I was 20, 21, 22.
Exactly. See, now when I was 38 and I'm doing this because now I'm divorced.
Yeah,
I did not buy women any drinks. Matter of fact, I got drinks bought from me.
That's what's up.
Holy shit. And
that's what's up.
And I said I'm not wasting any money on women. If they are interested, I'll talk to them. But I went alone a lot. I knew people that were up there, but I didn't really go out with a bunch of guys. I mean, recently moved to Alabama. I didn't go up here, so I didn't have a bunch of friends from school and our neighborhoods just growing up down here. I mean, 1,000 miles away from home. So
yeah,
still loving it, but I mean, I just didn't have
that group of people
growing up. Yeah, so I just go out and meet people as I'm out, and start going to your local spots and stuff, having a good time.
My buddy,
I would even do it on the cheap too, man. If you just have me at 38.
Oh yeah.
I go get a strong drink at the gas station, drink it right in the parking lot before I walk in. So you kind of slam it down, get it started
Yep.
going.
Get a buzz going. Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And that was it.
And it's funny because I would go like to the bars like later in my years with some friends and young guys because most of my friends are all younger. You know, or we go camping and we go. Everybody bring alcohol and we, you know, they start partying and stuff. And it's like, man, you motherfuckers are destroyed in like 5 minutes. Like 5 minutes and you're already asleep. You're in your tent or halfway through your tent sleeping. I'm still sipping on the same two, like the second drink. And it's like, you know, people, oh, you're nursing it or you're babying it. No, motherfucker, I'm pacing myself. I'm old. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and chug a gallon of fucking Gatorade and Jack Daniels. Like, what's wrong with you? Them days are gone, son. And when you wake up and when you're actually clear-headed, you're going to realize, holy shit, I wasted a lot of days on Gatorade and Jack Daniels. Like, no, not for this guy. Not anymore. Even now, like, I get the taste for a little bit of rum every once in a while, but I can't drink anymore. So it's like, well, it is what it is, you know? So I guess like I say, I don't miss it, but you know,
to be honest with you, I'm not drinking as much either. I mean, I do buy a couple of my strong beers that I showed you before, Dragon's Milk. It's a real super strong stuff.
Yeah.
And I can sip on it, and it's really strong. I don't have to drink a ton of them, like you know that craft beer that's like 3%. And people talking about slamming one after another. I'm like, ugh. I'd rather have one good beer than 5 crappy ones.
Right, and not to mention, I mean, after the first beer, if you're just pounding them, what is it? What does it take? What are you drinking? You know what I'm saying? You're just watering the hole at that point. it's like I don't know how many beers I had, but they all tasted the same.
Yeah.
And they're all gonna come out the same. Like, you're wasting it.
Yeah.
It's like I think I had this is a weird analogy probably, but I went.
Not for kids.
Yeah, I went to dinner with some friends and my wife and I. It was a long time ago. We were really young, and my buddy was like, "Dude, you got to order the filet mignon. It's like the best fucking steak you'll ever eat in your life." I was like, "All right, like okay, is it?" And he was like, "Really expensive. It's like I think $20 a piece. It was like a 6-ounce steak, tiny steak for $20." I was like, "God damn, you know that was expensive to me back in the day."
Yeah.
And I mean, still to this day, filet mignon's always the top.
Yeah.
Like I think that's always the top priced steak.
$30.
Yeah, it's up there. So I get this steak, right? And he's like, have it medium well. And I'm like, I don't like medium, you know. So he's like, just okay, then have it well, but a little pink. And I was like, all right. So I ordered it, whatever. It came, I cut it up, took a piece, you know, like you would do any other steak. Cause I'm like, hey, this is tiny. You know, I had potatoes and rice and whatever. And I'm like, I pounded it. And he's like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, what? I'm like, he's like, you don't fucking just pound that steak, dude. He's like, that's a $20 steak. You cut it, you put it in your mouth, you chew on it a bit, you let that taste sit in your mouth, you know.
What you were about to say, you spit it back out.
Yeah.
It more.
Right. I was like, what, dude? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You're telling me how to eat food, bro? Like, but he was right. Like he hit it right on the fucking head. I was so anxious to fucking eat and so in a hurry, and you know, I was young. Yeah. Everything was like that, right? You do it. Let's get it done, you know. And it's like, okay, take some time, slow down, savor to me. And that's when I learned, fuck, man, filet mignon was like the best steak I ever had, you know. And it made me realize, dude, I could do this with everything. Like I could, you know, people, I'm going to drink you under the table. Yep. Watch and see. You know what I'm saying? Watch and see. Like I could go through like 7 drinks and I'm like, man, these guys are already asleep. I'm like, well, it's because you guys don't know how to pace yourselves. You know, you lose sight of what you're doing because you're so fucking happy to be free and pounding drinks. You know,
I've got a problem though. Especially if I'm drinking weak drinks that are, like I said, like a weak beer or just a weak mixed drink.
Mm-hmm.
I will sip on it too much. Not too much, too little, I guess. You know, and pace myself, if you will. And if I do that on a weak drink, I'll get a headache. And I call it my, like, it's terrible. I mean, like, if I get a headache, then I just don't want to drink it. And
yeah.
If I drink at a decent pace and get that all rolling, then I'm fine. But yeah, if I'm not planning on actually drinking and having a good time, then I'd rather just not drink at all.
That makes sense.
It's weird. So yeah.
And I think too, like once I get that fucking headache, like once you get that past buzz headache, it's like, all right, I don't want to drink anymore for like 10 years. Yeah. You're like, fuck drinking, fuck it right now. Let's figure out how to lay out this floor to where I can, you know what? I'll just cut these pieces. Fuck it. Let's just cut these 2 little pieces and be done with it.
Painting up some of these up on it. When I got that Reaper bird eagle.
Yeah.
I think it's a rock.
A rock?
Yeah. It's awesome miniature, by the way. I ended up getting that glued together.
I mean, it's fucking.
Yeah, because at Reaper, now it's weird. Reaper's prices from their website, straight directly from them, is a little bit more, like a couple dollars more.
Yep.
You can find it cheaper elsewhere, of course, but then if you spend $45, which is not that much, then other places require like 75 or 100. You get free shipping. So 45, free shipping, and then they always either have a little gift bag, or this, like what they're doing right now, is there's like 30 miniatures you can pick from. You can pick for free.
Oh, see, that's not bad. That's cool.
Yeah, so I picked a reptile, what do they call him, Reptus mage.
Oh, cool. So like a dragonborn mage kind of, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, or a lizard man.
Yeah.
I think it's more of their lizard man.
Yeah, like a lizard man. Dude, I just saw their Tiamat, their version of Tiamat.
Oh yeah.
Mal Drakkar or something.
It's actually more probably to scale.
Yeah, because the Tiamat model, I was looking at her. I was actually looking at it online, and I was gonna pick it up, but I was like, God damn, she's small. Like, she's like the Queen of Dragons, but she's fucking tiny. Like, that's one of my biggest beefs about Dungeons and Dragons models, dude. Like, I swear to God, they put like this fucking dinosaur. He's supposed to be a huge model. You know what I'm saying? But he's tiny. This is not the T-Rex. If you put it to any 25 millimeter model, it's not the size of a Tyrannosaurus. Like, this is way small. You know, I'm like, why? Why do you do that? Like, make the shit like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's an older model. And I think they're getting better.
They are.
Model is still pretty old. They brought it back. I didn't know they brought it back. I thought I was buying a unpainted. Because I bought the Tiamat and the Baphomet. Right when I was keeping an eye out on my I keep an eye on a lot of different things. I got one site that I go to that kind of gives you a big heads up. I think it's like a distributor.
Oh, okay.
So then I checked the place the hobby store that I would buy stuff from, and as soon as they got it, I went ahead and pre-ordered it. So it just said Tiamat and Baphomet, and I thought, okay, cool, they're bringing them back. Maybe they're unpainted. Right. Maybe they're to scale this time around. I don't know. And then when they finally got more data, because they'll just put like a no image, they'll just say the price and pre-order, and then eventually they get around when it gets closer to releasing it, they'll put a picture, and I'm like, holy crap, this is the old model painted, brought back. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then the Tiamats were gone. I mean, you couldn't pre-order them.
Yeah, she's like 60.
Instantly, I seen the waterfall effect. I seen eBay and everything going $100, $150.
Yep.
Oh yeah, everybody's getting all these Tiamats, and they're instantly just buying them to resell.
Yep.
Resell.
I mean, it's such a
like I want to say $50.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's like 60 right now, and I almost ordered it, and then I was like, you know what? It's a cool model, but chances are I will not be using a Tiamat. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like in my game, there's a high likely chance that they won't be going to hell, or her being summoned to you know.
And your take on her being small, but if she's flying and in the air 100 feet up, she's gonna look small.
Sure, I mean, but that's a logic
from a distance.
That's a logical explanation for it, but you and I both know that bitch is small.
Oh yeah, it's small.
I mean, because look at the colossal red dragon. He's like almost twice her size. She should be a colossal dragon. She should be colossal.
But is she? Because the red dragon is the only one that can get colossal.
but she's the queen of the red dragons.
Well, yeah.
So I mean,
I don't know. I don't know that.
Well, no, I thought the silver dragon got colossal too, doesn't he? Doesn't the silver dragon get colossal? No, the gold one. Gold gets colossal, right? Everybody else gets gargantuan. Fuckers.
I've got the gargantuan black.
Yeah, I got him too. I got the gargantuan black and white. I missed the blue, of course.
Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I think they're gonna bring that back too.
I hope so, man, because I didn't.
I don't have the white either. I'm actually either hoping they just remodel it. I really don't.
Yeah, I didn't.
The white and the blue aren't that hot.
I got them because it was what it was, and the white one came with Dritz Duerden. So I was like, all right, cool. I got a little Dritz figure, but yeah, I was a little bothered by the sculpts. It was kind of like, come on.
I'm so glad I didn't with the team at Baphomet because look, I ended up getting them, for a real good price later on. I didn't think they're going to be painted, but I'm holding off on the white and blue one, and of course the red.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $500.
Yeah, I found one for $125, and I'm debating on it because it's a big ass model. It's it's still a lot to me. I'm wondering
if they're going to bring that one back.
I hope so. I hope so.
Because I haven't had any word. I haven't seen anything. But I had no idea that those the team out of Baphomet were coming back. That was just like out of the blue.
Yeah, I thought that they were just done, like, because when they came out, it was Icons of the Realm or some shit, like, or Icons Classic, whatever. And I was like, well, I missed my chance. It's a cool model, but I missed my chance. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things, right?
And I watch all the D&D news every week or whatever
they
put it out. I watch it on YouTube, and like I said, I'm always checking to see what's coming out. And there was no news about it. It just drops on the distributors website. I said, oh shit. Usually they give you word. They may have just came out because the team
that's what I was thinking, was because of the Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign. Yeah. So I'm putting in the floor tiles for the top of the bunker. You can see that there, just little pieces of card that were extra. So I'm putting them in just to kind of give the floor some floor. Hopefully, like I said, I'm going to make some Mod Podge this week. And I'll start using that to primer. You know what I mean? I didn't even think I didn't know you could do that. I don't know who it was I was watching. Somebody I was watching, and they were using it as a primer. I think Black Magic Craft, Jeffrey or whatever his name is. Mm-hmm. He was doing it as a primer for foam. And I was like, it makes sense, because he did it right on camera. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. You don't have to go outside. You don't have to spray nothing. You just slap it on. I didn't call it Mod Podge back in the day. We just called it glue with water and paint. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that's what that was. We used to actually make glue with water and sand too for basing. My buddy Joe used to do it. He used to do it all the time for all his models. He would mix the actual sand with the glue and the water and then scoop it on the base. Like, he was doing texture painting before there was texture painting. And I was always like, that's such a waste of time, dude, But in fairness, like, when it came to his models, they never fucking chipped. Like, that was like the key to his fucking success with that. His models would, like, if they fell or whatever, the bases wouldn't chip, like I would put like glue and then sand and they would chip every once in a while, right? Because the glue just didn't take, or it just wasn't solid enough or whatever. So now what I do is I'll put the glue, then the sand, and then later, after I'm done doing all of it and it's all dried, I'll put another layer of watered down glue on top of it so it seals it all in, which is basically the same thing he's doing, but I'm just doing it in a different step. I don't like scraping the stuff on and then having to move it all around and shit like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because now we have GW's texture paints, or technical paints, which do that for you.
All these contrast paints and all these other things that GW is making, I don't understand. I mean, I don't buy GW paints
Well, the contrast paints are basically like jelly, like a thin down, a thick wash is basically what it is, so it's designed, originally their purpose was designed to help new players fix the grays, right? Like, you got a whole army, you're intimidated to paint. This paint, if you put on, like, if you wanted a blue guy, you painted the blue, and the blue would go into all the recesses, and it would leave highlights, because of the opacity of the paint, right? So it would automatically give you 2 steps to 3 steps done in one go. That was their thing with this paint, Professional painters are using it to more extensive, you know what I mean? Like they're doing more with it because they obviously have more talent. You know what I mean? You could, but new people are still.
I was just wondering because I'm not sure which one of my miniatures that I had painted some maybe it was contrast paint, so I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take that as a negative. Like, hey, is that contrast paint? It looks shitty like you're a beginner and you use contrast paint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought it was. That's why I wanted to confirm it with you. And I'm not sure who mentioned it. I'm like, no, it's not contrast paints. But I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take it as a compliment or hey, those are.
Well, that's the thing too, right? That's the one thing, like the community, as far as like experienced painters go and shit like that. That's the thing that's bothering people. It's like, okay, so now people who don't have talent are going to look like they have talent because the paint is doing all the work. And that's, yeah, to a degree, I mean, sure. But if you're a really good fucking painter, then you just added a whole new bucket of tools to your fucking repertoire. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy Chris from Way of the Brush, he used to be on miniwargaming.com, but now he's on his own again. But he had a channel called Way of the Brush, and he still has it now. The guy's painting skills, like you could give him a bottle of poop and he'll probably paint something really nice with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how good he is. And when you put shit like this in his hands, it's like now he's painting really well. But what you did by giving him contrast paints is now he can paint really well, really fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's already got the neatness. That's the one thing that I don't like about the contrast. There's a lot of cleanup, right? And they say, oh, you save a lot of time when you paint with contrast because its coverage is really good, whatever. I'm like, yeah, but then you waste a lot of time doing all the cleanup, But if you're a good painter, like if you're really fucking good, you've already mastered basing and control, right? Like that's already under your belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So that's not going to be a problem for you. That's and having the right brushes and just the right tools with you when you're using those paints, you could do some pretty cool shit. Like there's some pretty cool shit out there. Now I'll be honest, I've seen people do, like professional painters will use contrast, but they'll also use regular paints as highlighting or whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Because once you lay a color down, the only thing you can do is go darker from that color, right? So if you lay a bone color down, you can't go white over that. I mean, you could try. I think you can do with their white, but that's about it. Or you use the primer version, the pot version of the primer to do your highlights or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, in certain colors, you just can't go over. Like if you put gray or black down, you're not going over that with nothing else. If you put blue down, if you go over it with anything else, it's going to blend, and now you got this nasty green. So you have to really know your color wheel when using contrast paints. You got to know your color wheel. If you don't, you're wasting time and money. Hey, where do you keep going, bro? You keep saying you're back.
Is Zeke back?
Yeah, he's back.
Did he leave?
I guess. He keeps bailing on me, bro. Stop it, Hate.
Get back in here.
You're making it confusing.
Back, bro.
All right, so there's the flooring plates. They're all bowing now. Damn it. Should have waited. I should have waited. But yeah, I mean, like I said, contrasts are great. And I'm starting to learn. I'm watching some videos from different people doing different things with them. And I'm starting to learn some cool tricks to do weathering and certain things. You can do a lot of cool weathering tricks with contrast that you would do normally. Like you would take a pigment, you would take a water and some medium and all this other stuff. You can just knock that shit out with a contrast. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. You know. So again, like it's these professional painters that are taking it to the next level. Like, okay, you know, yeah, you could paint an army really quick with these guys. Slather on the paint, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. But now let me show you some other shit you could do with it. And that's where it's like, oh, okay, that's the value in it. You know. I like their washes. I think my favorite thing from GW right now is their washes. I think their washes are the best. They've gotten the best formula they've ever had for inks versus washes versus all that shit.
I have to try some. I know one of the only washes I really love from Army Painter is their Strong Tone.
The Strong Tone?
Yeah. I mean, all I have is Army Painter, so I do use the other ones, but the Strong Tone is my favorite. It's just the right enough brown. I think it compares to one of the ones from GW.
Agreth's Earthshade, yeah. Probably, yeah.
That's what I've heard.
One of my other buddies, he was just telling me, he's like, he bought the dip, you know, it's like a little quart can.
Yeah.
And you pop the lid, you just paint your base colors, you dip the guy in, and he's done. And he was like, dude, he's like, I was knocking out Imperial Guardsmen like fucking left and right. And I was like, that's cool, bro. Like, you're not putting any highlights on? He's like, it doesn't need it. The dip does the work. I'm like, all right, bet money.
I know that the Army Painter has a dip for the Strong Tone. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's they've actually, I think they've got a light, or they got a soft and a strong tone. It's like a little quart, a can. Yep. Pop it out. It's like a paint can.
That is different.
It is. It is
different than the one I got in my little bottle.
Yes, it is. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he was telling me, he just popped his guy in there, pulled him out, shook him off, boom, he was done. I was like, man, that sounds like magic. I was like, that sounds like that voodoo shit. I don't know. I was like, I'm not sure you're doing the right thing there, bro. He's like, no, it's awesome, dude. I'm like, all right, I believe you. All righty. Now, let's get some more trim on there, huh?
Everybody likes a little trim.
If you don't, that's wrong. Something wrong with you.
Hashtag not for kids.
Nope. Not safe for work anymore either. Yeah. That's cool though.
How does this relate to D&D?
Who said that?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, no.
D&D or tabletop games or dice trays.
Yeah. You know, it's funny when you're building stuff like this, when I look at this shit, right? I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? This looks so silly, you know, because you've got all the stuff from the Cracker Box and all that shit. But when it's painted and done, you're like, damn, I made that. You know what I'm saying?
Crafters know.
Right, yeah.
They can see behind the garbage.
It's so funny because like my buddy Joe, back in the day, like when we were at we had a gaming club, you know, we'd get together on Sundays and we either play games or build models or paint or whatever. We did so many projects. Like, we built huge 4x8 tables for different conventions and things like that. And it was literally like every other week when it was like, all right, I would come up with a project idea because I was the president of the club. You know, they were like, oh, let's do something new. All right, okay, I'll come up with a project idea. We'll get to going. Like, every other week there was garbage in the house, like just garbage, like fucking styrofoam chunks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you could grab that would work. And then everybody would be rating their bits bins and stuff like that. And like, all right, what can we find to use this as this, you know? And it was amazing creative time, but it was like, I think about it now, like I don't have the room for all that shit. My wife's not gonna let me keep a fucking house full of garbage. What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, that's the other thing. You know, I try to keep, you know, I get some of my shipments in, I try to keep some boxes.
Yeah.
And packing stuff, and I'm like, I can't keep everything. I just want to keep it in case I want to ship something out.
Yep, I do the same thing, and then I wind up like throwing out boxes because it's like there's just too much shit in the room.
Yeah, it's like, how much can I keep? How many boxes can I keep? How much packing material can I keep? And I don't have a box for his books that I want to send out at the right size, so I'm gonna have to buy something. You know
what's messed up when you got to order something from Amazon so you can send something out?
No, I don't do that.
Oh shit! I I gotta ship this like my D&D. I got the what do you call it, the essential set. I ordered it because I'm gonna send it out for the 200 subscribers, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave it in the box. Like, I don't even have to look for a box because it comes with one.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try to use Medium now. I don't know how they can verify that it's actually media. I mean, if I have it already pre-boxed.
You're using Medium?
No, media.
Oh, media.
Yeah, if you're shipping books or CDs or tapes, if you still have them, you're allowed to use Medium now. It's cheaper.
Oh.
But I looked it up. I seen it. Yeah, okay, that is a thing. I was right, but I don't know the details. Like, if I pre-box something, I can just say it's medium.
True.
How do they have to? Do I have to wait and tape it up there so they know that yes, this is a book? I mean, I could say everything's a book.
True. I mean, I guess weight would come into a factor at one point. You know what I'm saying? Or some point.
And those 3 books are heavy.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
So you just got to say. So yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. And then I was like, it shouldn't be too much. I don't know how much it weighs, but I mean, they give you a lot better price for some reason because it's media.
That's interesting.
It is weird. So like I said, I got to find out the details.
I just finished packing a box for my buddy. He's out in Kuwait. He was just deployed to Kuwait, and he was actually deployed before, and I meant to send him something before, and I never got around to it, and I felt like shit. You know what I mean? I was like, I never sent. So this time around, I was like, oh, you're out there. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send you some stuff. So I sent him the starter set, the 5th ed starter set, and I also, I sent him a Gundam model. I sent him some barbecue sauce and whatever, batteries and a bunch of cool shit. Just shit for him to use out there. And I'm getting ready to send it. And I just found out that the postal service will send it for free or at a regular postal rate. If you do priority, you can, whatever priority is, you can send it at priority because he has an APO, which is like a specific address that goes here and then like to the US, and then it gets shipped from the US government will ship it to Kuwait for him. Yeah. So I thought that's kind of cool. I was like, man, that's pretty cool because for me to ship something to Kuwait, that shit ain't gonna happen. That's no.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, bro. I'll hold it here till you get done. This is too much. You know what I mean? It's too expensive. I just got a package from a dude the other day. I'm doing an unboxing video, and the shipping was twice the cost of the product. Because it was coming from the Philippines, and I was like, God damn, dude. Matter of fact, he charged me so little for the product. I was like, there's something wrong. This is not right. You know what I mean? Because I know what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's up with this? Is it broken? He's like, no. He's like, trust me, shipping is going to cost. And he's like, I don't use it. You want it. You got it. Shipping is going to cost you an arm and a leg. And I was like, all right, let's see what it is. And it did. I was like, God damn. And it's a big box, though. I mean, it's heavy and it's a big box. So I was like, all right, that makes total sense for that size. You know what I'm saying? And then coming from the Philippines, I was like, all right, that money. Yep. But I got it, so I'm happy for now. You know how that is.
Yeah, when I shipped out those paint racks, I mean, I was like, wow, because they're already put together, they're hot glued together. And then you get the size of the box and the cardboard, the heavy gauge cardboard and packing.
Yeah.
It's like, that shipping cost gets up. I'm like, man, how much do these cost again?
Right, exactly.
I almost was like, I mean, you almost have to think, okay, in these giveaways, you got to think about, okay, how much is it going to cost to ship? Because we're not making money on YouTube. We're not.
No, exactly.
It's not like we're making enough money to ship out our free gifts.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like I shipped some stuff. I was like, how much are you? Who's paying for that shipping? I'm like, me, motherfucker. Like,
yeah,
it's us. That's our money going to waste.
So then I started looking at like D&D books, and like, I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I'm like,
might be cheaper to like.
I thought I was buying a set and just have it delivered right to his house.
Yeah.
Free.
Yep.
But then I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, it's still gonna,
Man, it was one of the guys on the group too, man. Fuck. Dude, I want to say, is it Elvis? Maybe Evil Elvis? I'm not sure. But I wanted to send him some of these miniatures, man, but I looked at what it costs to send stuff to Norway, and I was like, oh my God, why? Like, why is it so fucking expensive? Like, it doesn't make any sense, you know? But it was so expensive. I was like, no, dude, it's not worth it. You know, like, it's not worth it. You know, for what I would charge for those miniatures, I would lose a lot just sending it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I just sent Blue a package, right, with those little dragons.
Yeah.
I looked it up. Those 3 little dragons are $30 a piece. Okay. That's what they're going for, because they were rare in the box sets that they came in. Those blind pulls, they were rare, and they were $30 a piece. And I was like, you know, and it wasn't like I was like, okay, I'm going to see what they cost so I could charge them, because I didn't charge them for it at all, actually. No. You know, I just charged them for the shipping. But I was like, yeah, I don't want to go on eBay, and I don't want to sell that shit, and I don't want to deal with people haggling or whatever, you know. And he really wanted them, so I was like, cool, man, you know. Done, they're gone, because I have 2 more sitting in my miniatures bin. The reason I had 3 extra was because I was like, I got like 5 of these motherfuckers. What am I doing with 5 silver dragons? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, is it worth it? And you got to do your math, you know. But yeah, that's, I guess, the life of a mini gamer, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, you're talking about Norway. I looked into following Fred for a long time. All of his Fane Delver videos are really cool and real helpful. Like, if you're playing that campaign, you can, everybody's coming up against a certain NPC. Just watch a quick little video that he's done, and maybe get a little tidbits on how to play that character, what that character might know. It's not really important. It just helps you out, keeps you fresh. You don't have to take a lot of good notes yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I follow his live streams and chat with him a lot, and then I'm like, I wouldn't mind sending him a little something here and there, you know, that, because I know he doesn't have a lot either, and I'll see that he's, he'll do a video on it, I'm sure, and it'll be cool.
Yeah.
And, he's in New Zealand. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, that ain't happening. He even says, don't send anything to me.
It's just ridiculous, dude. The customs costs for shipping is just ridiculous, man. It's like, what the fuck, bro? And it sucks because, like, there's shit. Okay, I'm in like a RC group on Facebook, a Tamiya group and stuff like that, and different Gundam groups, things like that. And you're like, oh, cool, that'd be cool to buy that. Like, how much is that? And it's only like $25. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. Where are you at? Fucking Singapore. Like, wait, what? Yeah. Yugoslavia. You know, you're like, well, how much is it going to cost? Like $1,000. Like, no. Mm-mm. But they get shit over there that we don't get here.
Yeah.
You know, there's exclusive things that are released there. I bought a set of 40K figures that they're like blind pulls, like Warhammer. Games Workshops did these blind pulls in Japan. It was like an exclusive thing. It was a lot of Space Marines, like 10 of them. They were all rare guys, but you basically bought a box. You didn't know which one you were getting, you know. So it came out a year before we got them here, right? And then eventually we got them because people complained. They were like, what the fuck? When we got them, though, the line of models that were in our line were different than the line of models that were in the Japanese release. So they had 2 models that you couldn't get here. So now people were clamoring for these models, paying hundreds of dollars. You're like, yo, that's a $10 model, dude. The fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? I bought a set from Japan, because I buy it from a specific shop in Japan. They had a new set of these models that came out, and I was like, all right, $60 for 6 dudes. That's $10 a guy. Normally for Games Workshop, individual models are $25. Not a bad deal. Free shipping. Boom, got it. So I got it, and then they released a paint set in Japan with one figure that was exclusive to that paint set. The paint set's like $65, and it only came with like 8 paints. I was like, get the fuck, who the fuck would pay that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that? Like, fuck you, Japan. You know what I mean? I mean, not Japan. It's Games Workshop, but it was just one of those things. It was like, God damn, man. And then now I find out that when they released the set here, because they haven't released it here yet, once they release it, which will be probably next year, you know, it's going to be like different models. I'm like, God damn it. That's, if you're a collector, which most people who buy these types of things, you know, you're a collector. You're not necessarily going to build armies off of these things. You're buying them to finish, like complete an army, you know? And you look at it, you're like, God damn, like how much for a collection? You know what I'm saying? What's the value of it all when you really break it down? You know, is it worth that extra shipping or that extra time, or that is it worth having it a year in advance? You know, I don't know. Some stuff, yeah. Some stuff, nah. You know, I mean, that's just me. That's my take on it. What the fuck do I know?
Yeah, I'm just looking at online just the other day on eBay. I won an auction for some Gale Force 9, just 2 little figures. I saved $5. You know, I'm like, hey, I'll be the only bidder and see if I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not bidding anymore, and I think they're normally like $20, $25, and I got 15 with shipping. So I'm like, hey,
that's not bad.
There are a couple characters from Curse of Strahd.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's not a bad price.
It's just me being a collector. I don't need them. I don't know when I'll be running Curse of Strahd. I can probably use them for something else, or just like NPC type here. But
yeah,
they are key characters in that campaign setup.
See, I wind up doing that a lot too. I wind up, I'm a completist. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I was doing Star Wars figures, right? I started a long time ago. Then, you know, you lose some, you get some, you lose some. I think in 2010, I started collecting the figures that came out, like the vintage collection is what they called it. And the Clone Wars collection, I started buying them. And I got to the point where it was like, I need every single figure released. Like, and it just got to the point where I was like hunting fucking figures. And I think I paid the most expensive one I bought that was brand new. Like, still, you could go in a store and find it if you were good enough. I paid like $30 for one guy that was $10. And I was like, that's when I told myself, I was like, dude, we are going too fucking far.
Yep.
You know, and I was telling my wife, like, because I have a huge Star Wars collection. I was telling Hate this too. I'm going to start doing, I want to do raffles, you know, so I can at least get something back for them. But I might just start doing little giveaways so that I can entice people to do the raffles. You know what I'm saying? But I've got so much shit. I'm like, I got stuff in stores that I will never display. Ever. You know, I just won't have the space to display it or the time. Why am I sitting on this shit? Because I never bought, none of my collectibles were bought as investments, right? Like I don't buy stuff to be like, ooh, this is going to be worth, 10 times more in about 5 years. I buy it because it's like,
and then you're just waiting for the time to sell.
Right. And it's, so everything I buy is for me. Well, yeah, that's what people like. My buddy Joe, he's a Star Wars collector, but he had this fucking obsession. I thought I was bad. He would go and get 2 of every figure. Everything he bought 2 of, so he could have one open and he could have one in a box so he could sell it later. I'm like, God damn, dude. I hope that day comes that you sell, bro.
It does work though. I'm sure.
It does. No, a lot of people. That's the practice, right? That's the investment practice, right? If you really want it, you get one for yourself and then you get one to sell. And I get it. I totally get it. But it's that market, man. It's that fucking market that ruins it, man. It's like, God damn.
I've wondered what people did that if they're all the people that just bought stuff to sell it later or mark it up right away and try to sell it.
That's some people do that.
Or just sit on it. I was wondering if that type of person actually even liked it or not. So if they are the ones that are buying 2, then I can
because they care for it and whatever they like. Okay,
I just hate the people that would just swoop up everything just because they got money and they want to make money off that.
Right.
Us people that really like the hobby.
Right, and then the guys that actually want the shit or into it, you'll wind up paying either more or fucking not getting it because you just can't afford it. That's the thing that bothers me. It's like, come on, man, you fuckers.
Like, there's people that got into this Kickstarter on that, and they have shit on eBay, and it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They've got that 4 set for like $2,500 by itself, just that 1 set. I'm like, are you friggin' kidding me?
That's fucking.
I mean, I know it's expensive, but it's not that expensive.
That's just sad.
I've seen a lot of sets from the Kevin's League that are.
That's just, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
They're at least $50 marked up, if not more. and it's like, did you even buy this because you wanted it? I mean, you seriously bought? You just got into the Kickstarter so you can resell.
And that's the thing too, right? Like those Kickstarters, 90% of the Kickstarters that I've seen have swag, right? That you're not going to get on the sales floor. There's just shit you're getting in that swag that you're not going to get when you go to buy the package, at the store. And that's the thing that gets me. It's like you're taking that away from someone who could fucking have that. And you're just going to fucking retool it and sell it like you cocksuckers. Yeah, I got to that point. I was like, it was that thing. It was that thing that my buddy was doing. I was like, I get it, right? Because he is a huge Star Wars fan. But for me, it was like, come on, man, like you're a dickbag. Like, I knew this guy at work. He's at my job. He's big in the right. He was a competition shooter. He shot for Glock, real good. I mean, old dude, but fucking eagle eyes. You know what I'm saying? That kind of guy. And we were in the gun, and I'm in the gun, so we were always chit chatting every time we got together. Oh, did you hear the new bills that were passed? Blah blah blah. So he told me, he's like, yeah, this is when Obama was getting reelected, and he was like, once he gets reelected, man, that's it. We're gonna be taking away ARs from everybody, and blah blah blah. So he's like, I'm buying he bought 6 AR-15s at super low cost, right? And he was like, I'm gonna sell them all. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're a Second Amendment advocate. You're the guy that's supposed to be looking out for the guys that don't know how to protect themselves. And you're going to exploit that fucking market? Like, that's your game? I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how dirtbag low can you, I mean, one rifle? Okay. You bought an extra one. That's like I said, you bought 2, you bought one for yourself, and you bought one to resell. Cool. That's whatever. You know what I mean? Make a little profit. But now because he inflated the fuck out of those guns too. Like I was like, dude, because everybody was scared after he got voted in. Everybody was like, oh, the panic. Like my buddy went and bought a rifle for $1,800. I was like, Rob, that's a $500 rifle, right? Like you that rifle's not that expensive. But he was worried, and I get it, But this dude, man, he bought 6 fucking rifles, and he was mad because he couldn't get rid of them. And I was like, that's what you fucking get. Like, that's what you deserve, that, you cocksucker. I think he got rid of almost all of them except for 2, and I was like, sucks to be you, bro.
I haven't bought any guns yet. The rifles, handguns, shotguns. I have 3 picked out, and of course, if you know my taste, you can probably figure out why I haven't bought them yet. Because I mean, it's just I don't hunt, and so they would just be to go to the range or go to my buddy's. He's got some property and have fun, and then just self-protection, in the house here. But I've never had any issues where I've been scared where I'm like, what, I can't have a gun.
Right.
Not that I'm against it. I want one. I've got a handgun, a shotgun, and a rifle I picked up, and I want to get someday. And they're all expensive. So
I would say, I mean, honestly, like I tell everybody, at the very least, get some practice in, get yourself a handgun. Because I mean, you can get a rifle, and a rifle can do a lot of stuff. I mean, I have one. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I have a rifle and I love it. When I go into threat mode and there's someone in my house, and I don't care what anybody says. Everybody's got their own opinion. Whatever. You're gonna sweep and clear your house with a fucking 18-inch barrel. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Is I'll have an 18-inch barrel, but it's gonna be
like a 12 gauge.
Well, no, both my guns are bullpups.
Oh, okay.
I wanted.
See, that's the thing. Like we can't only have.
Barrel.
Yeah.
It's still a full-length 18-inch barrel.
Okay, so it's legal.
So it's legal, but it's a bullpup, so it's a lot shorter. It's that Israeli.
The Tavor.
X95, yeah.
The Tavor, yeah. Yeah, a buddy of mine had one. He's got one. He's got the P90, the P90R, or the P90S, the civilian version. Just got the longer barrel. Nice guns. I mean, really nice guns. I've shot both of them.
I mean, for a great gun that it is, and you don't have to, I'm not going to be modding it or doing anything crazy to it. You see guys that spend money on an AR, and then they put $1,000 into it, a gun or whatever. I would just be buying it. It's $1,700, and it's always $1,700. And you're gonna have to put a nice scope on it, light or whatever you want to add on. But Um, it's a great gun. 1700, buy it, done. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
If you want,
and that's why I like it, because it's different. I like it because I like the style of the way it looks. I like the fact that it's going to have the same ammunition as
same magazine, same ammo. Yeah.
magazines. Yeah, and then um, the shorter, the full length barrel, so it's not going to be as accurate long range because of the trigger pull and whatnot. But I would be getting it because it's close quarters. What I'll be using it for.
Mm.
The shotgun I want actually was an SRM,
Oof.
12 gauge. It has obviously 12 gauge, but it has that, how many rounds did it hold? Had a 16 rounds, rotating barrel or rotating magazine. But actually, IWI just made one themselves, and I actually like that better. So yeah, I'm looking at, and that's about 1,200 or 1,100.
Yeah.
And then the pistol I like is an actual American Hudson.
What is it?
Hudson. They just came out a couple years ago.
Hudson?
Yeah, they made they're making a pistol that is a combination of both worlds, as far as um, like a Glock is what? A Glock and a 1911. So you got the 1911 trigger pull as far as straight back.
Yeah. And you got the safety trigger on the Glock. So you're talking about like striker fire and
straight, yeah,
pin?
So it's got the combination of both guns. It's got a really low barrel, height just above the fingertip. So the spring and everything from like a 1911 is on the underside, so it looks like it's got a light on it already, but it's not. That's where yeah. So it's really, really unique. I like the fact that it's American made. I haven't bought it yet, so it's been out and letting it come out and let everybody get the bugs out of it. And it seems to be doing pretty well. But that gun's right around that grand as well. So it's like and it's not too big. It's 9mm. It's not out of control. Like you couldn't carry it. Like a 1911 is kind of on the big side to be carried.
I mean, here's the deal, man. When I was carrying,
I don't carry a weapon, so I mean, if I ever did, fine.
Right.
Like that one time that I do carry, I don't care if it's a little bit big.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a full-time carry gun.
Right. Yeah, I used to carry when I first started carrying. When I got my license, I carried my H&K USP 45 because that's all I had. And you're talking about a big gun. I mean, that it's a 45, but it's just a big frame. It's a big bore. You know what I'm saying? Like everything on it is huge. And then I switched to the Beretta 92F, and that I thought, okay, well, it's smaller. No, it's not. It's just as fat and it's just as heavy because it's all steel, with the metal frame and stuff like that. So I was carrying these big boys around. I was about 200, 210. Most of the years that I had them, and
steel too,
yeah. So they were. I mean, every time I moved around, man, it was like fuck. It was like a weight. You know what I mean? Like huge weight. And then you have your magazines, your extra mags. You know what I'm saying? Your pocket knife, your wallet, and all your shit. I'm like, God damn! I'm carrying around a baby child just to have this gun. So I finally, I was looking for something compact. I was like, I got to find something simple, something small. So I chose. I was gonna go with a Glock 19 because I got out to the range and I got to shoot a couple different ones, and I qualified with a Tannic, which is basically a Glock clone. Really nice gun, and I was going to go for that one, but the frame was a little long, so I was like, it pokes out every time I move around, And they say, when people tell you, oh, you have to conceal it, that doesn't mean it has to disappear. That just means you have to cover it as best as you can. If it pokes your shirt, that's just what it is. It's just that doesn't mean you're not concealing it. That just means it pokes your shirt. So, like my buddy Rob he used to run his 1911. He's a bigger boy, but he still ran his 1911. Now he runs a Glock, and he on the summertime he'll run like a 43, which is even smaller. So I settled on a Glock. I settled on a Lone Wolf Custom, which is basically it's the Glock, with Lone Wolf frame, Glock parts inside, but it's got the Lone Wolf frame and slide and the sights and stuff. So it's real comfortable, real nice, but it's that 19 size. So for me, it was like a huge difference from going from the H&K to the Glock. And I love the H&K. That was my all-time wanted gun. You know what I'm saying? Like ever since I was younger, and I shot the Mark 23 when I was a kid, and I was like, I really like this gun. And H&K just got a good reputation, but I think the gun was like $1,000 said and done with an extra mag out of the store, used, like used, you know. And I was like, fuck, but I wanted an H&K. You know, I had my mindset on it. Had I done it now, I would have changed my mind and probably gotten something else. But I got the Glock because it was like, well, in the end, a Glock is a Glock is a Glock, right? So if anything happens, I can probably kick a door in, and I guarantee you there's either a Glock, a 1911, or an AR-15 in there, if they're there. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the go-to standards in this country. So yeah, there's all those other ones that, you know, the XMs and the Springfields and the custom XDs, you know, there's all that stuff. But 9 times out of 10, there's a Glock somewhere, and those parts a lot of them are compatible. You know what I'm saying? So to me, if the shit hits the fan, a Glock is a Glock is a Glock, you know, just like the AR-15. That's the standard, you know what I mean? And I guarantee you, if I blow a bolt, if I find one, that bolt's going to fit. It may not be the best, but it'll work. You know what I'm saying? Or at the very least, I can make it work, you know? So that was my premise.
Like, and I tell people, like, you know, gun enthusiasts that are got a shit ton of guns. And I tell them what kind of gun I'm looking at. If I get one, they're like, why spend all that money? Just go out and buy this. $200. Boom, got it. You know, get yourself something. I'm like, I don't need anything. I mean, I'll just be getting it because I want it. So I want to want it. And the other thing is like, oh, why would you spend that much money on it? This is the guy with like 10 to 15 guns. Right. I don't want 10 to 15 guns.
Right.
One handgun, one shotgun, one rifle. I'm not a collector. I'm not, you know. And so all the money I would have in those 3 guns probably would be all the money you have in your guns and your cabinet that you got to have and everything else.
your blocker O guns.
Yeah.
All right, man. Look, here we are. This is where we're at. I still got to do the trim for the 2nd and 3rd level, or the bottom and the 2nd level. We got the details on the side. I'm going to put an Imperial Eagle here. I'm going to paint one on, so that's why I left that Blair. Probably do the same thing on this side. And then I got all the stuff on the back. That's where hell is right there. And damn. And I still got the rocket pods to put on too, so I'll put those on somewhere. But that's it right now. I mean, here she is so far. I think it's coming out pretty good, but that's just me. I'm biased, you know. Hate.
All right, guys.
Are
we calling it quits?
Yeah, I'm gonna run it down. We're looking at what is it? 57.
About 2 hours.
3 minutes. Yeah, so 2 hours. Not bad. We got a lot done.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on, man. Because believe me, dude, it helps. You know.
Oh yeah.
I get to talk to myself all day, sure, but like when we were at club. Most of the time we were building or painting, that's what we did. We just sat around the table. We shot the shit. We worked on our projects. We argued. We threw shit at each other. We went and got food. We came back, smiled, whatever. Next week, we did the same shit again. so clearly, whatever we argued about wasn't as important. You know what I mean? So it just throws me back to that time, and I appreciate you coming on and talking to me, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
So that is Cujo, guys, from the Overboard DM. If you have not seen his page, then you have not been following me on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere else. And
come check me out.
You suck as a friend because you should be following me like I follow you guys. But check him out. I put his stuff on Facebook. He has some amazing dungeon builds with Dwarven Forge stuff. Check him out. Tell him Zero sent you. And, you know, he'll know what you're talking about, and he'll block you like he blocks me all the time. So, and also check out our Discord channel, the Tabletop Dungeoneers. I'll put the link in the description of this video once we're done, so you guys can check us out. And again, tell him Zero sent you, or Cujo. Tell him Cujo sent you. That'll be fun.
Oh my gosh, dude! I got a story for you, but maybe I can do that on Discord.
Let's do that on Discord. So see, if you guys want to check out Cujo's story, you got to get on Discord. get those private videos up. We'll get those arrow sluts going.
Hey, what color are you gonna paint that anyway?
This
Right.
is because okay, and I was thinking about this a lot. We've got two big tables at our club, desert and urban. So the urban scenery has been falling apart and dilapidating. So I think I'm going to go with grays and make it an urban piece because we're losing a lot of that scenery. So, and I've replaced a lot of the desert stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is going to go. I'm going to do some grays and maybe a little bit of silver for damage and stuff like that. I still have to draw in all the bolts because I'm going to put in bolts on this. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be an urban piece of scenery. So like city fight type stuff. And you'll
Cool.
see it in my battle reports when I actually get my ass to Cabby's house and do some battle reports. You guys will see it there. So see,
Cool.
Cabby, I'm making stuff to work. All right, guys. Cujo, bro, thank you so much for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
I can't
no
wait
problem,
to see
man.
the rest of those videos. I'm gonna send you a dungeon design, and see if you can build it. See,
Okay.
that's gonna be Cujo's challenge. Build this dungeon, bro.
I can probably do it.
Yeah, I bet you. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could. I'm digging the new pieces too. I love the forest and I love the ice chasm. It's fucking awesome. All right, fellas. If you guys want to check out his videos, like I said, he's got those up. He's got some really good display videos of all those pieces from Dwarven Forge. And if you're on the fence about it, check out his video before you spend any money, and it'll give you an idea of what you're looking at. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Cujo, appreciate you, bro. I will talk to you guys soon.
All right. See you later,
Zero's
guys.
out.